Viro Tanis, as you lull over in your sleep, tangled in a mass of sheets and blankets, you hear a explosive noise ringing in your long elven ear.
Mm. The one day I picked to sleep.
As you roll over and slap the small alarm clock at your desk side, the radio begins to play. Good morning, Rampoon City! Time to blow away those Monday blues with some upbeat tunes. But before we get to the jams, Gerald with the weather. Eventually, the voice is kind of lulled to a drawl. You hear some movement in your apartment. Light steps, the sound of a door closing.
He'll wake up, stretch, pop his joints. Go over to his teapot and start making himself some tea, and then he'll go explore that noise. But he's pretty sure he knows what it is.
Yeah, as you kind of get up and you take your bedroom door and you open up the door and wipe your eyes and walk out. You see your daughter currently like kind of swinging her backpack onto her back and kind of adjusting the straps. And she kind of turns over. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Neff. How's it going? Sleep well? Sleep at all?
I packed some of my blankets, but I slept okay, yeah.
Ah, that's good. Well, I'm putting some tea on if you want anything.
I'm going to be late for school. I'm going to go.
All right. You sure you don't want me to take you, or...?
Too old for that. She just kind of turns around and walks out the door.
All right. Have a good day.
Door closes.
She'll...
One second, chat. We have a bit of a technical error. I will fix this here in a second. I hope you guys are liking the stream so far. Let's see if we can get back to where we were. Viro. There we go. Sorry, guys. We'll just bump up ahead to where we were. Thank you for your patience.
This.
Yeah, as you kind of get up and you take your bedroom door and you open up the door and wipe your eyes and walk out. You see your daughter currently like kind of swinging her backpack onto her back and kind of adjusting the straps. And she kind of turns over. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Neff. How's it going? Sleep well? Sleep at all?
I packed some of my blankets, but I slept okay, yeah.
Ah, that's good. Well, I'm putting some tea on if you want anything.
I'm going to be late for school. I'm going to go.
All right. You sure you don't want me to take you, or...?
Too old for that. She just kind of turns around and walks out the door.
All right. Have a good day.
Door closes.
She'll say it back one of these days. And he'll turn back to his tea.
You kind of flick the kettle on and it begins to glow with a sort of magical glow, and eventually the water comes to a boil. As you kind of head to the bathroom just to clean yourself up, could you describe your character to the audience as you look into the mirror?
Yep, he splashes some water into his face, and he runs his hands down his pale, full wood elven features. He's got a sort of well-groomed but thick, full beard with a mustache separated from the rest of his chin. His long auburn hair is pulled back into sort of a squirrel tail, and the rest of it just drapes down over his back. He has sort of these melancholy silver eyes, and those are quickly blocked by the aviator shades that he's putting on at the moment.
Okay. As you collect your keys and your SkyTrain pass, you make your way out the door, locking it behind you.
And he grabs his all too important varsity jacket, and he throws it over his shoulder. It's a custom-made black and green number with a sort of a depiction of a squirrel-like demon on the back. He throws it over his uniform and he walks out.
Meanwhile, a ways across town, the sound of vehicles ring below the apartment of Michael Bryant as you also lull over in your bed, your cell phone ringing out a shrill alarm that echoes, almost a jingle, but more irritating and annoying to the ear.
He's going to bang his hand on it and then realize it's not an alarm clock and then push the button on the side.
As you push the button on the side and kind of look with a blaring eye, the light from the cell phone just kind of hurts you as you just kind of wince back.
He's going to sit up in the bed, and he's going to start to stretch a little bit to loosen everything up, because everything hurts, like it always does.
As you go to scratch your face, there's a decent amount of stubble.
Yep, one of those kinds of days. He's going to slowly start to try to get up and make his way towards the restroom facilities of his crappy apartment.
Yeah, there's a smell to this apartment. It smells like old wood. It smells like probably secondhand smoke, amongst various other stains that may have persisted into the wooden floor of this building. There's plenty of parts that are just concrete, where there's just patches of floor missing. But you've managed to load your furniture in there, kind of boxes stacked up in one corner as you make your way to the bathroom, stumbling over piles of towels and other things. Would you like to describe your character?
I would. So Michael Bryant is a 6'6" tall human. He has short hair and is biracial, half African American, half Caucasian. The stubble that was described is going to be trimmed as best it can be to look like he's clean shaven, but he will inevitably miss certain patches. He is also dressed, when he is ready for work, in a button-down shirt, a suit and tie kind of a look with a trench coat over the top of it. He's also got dark dress pants and dress shoes.
Okay. As you go to grab your breakfast, you notice that many things have thawed as your refrigerator seems to have been put on the wrong setting.
Come on, man. He's going to reset the settings.
Yeah, you kind of flick a knob on it, increasing the power of the ice crystals that power this refrigerator. It's old, but unfortunately, whoever lived here previously maybe hit the button and lowered it too far.
Nothing in this damn place works anymore.
You grab your cell phone and your keys and your pass to the SkyTrain, and you make your way out.
Peace out, crappy apartment.
Khel Zouren. As you sleep, cocooned up in your bed, you begin to hear a knock at the door.
He is going to curl up and try to remain asleep.
There's a bit more knocking, and then eventually it stops, and then there's silence. And then your alarm goes off, which is horrendously bad as well. It is very shrill and very loud. Your father gave it to you as a gift, and he wanted to make sure you wouldn't miss any date that is important. It almost sounds like a house alarm when a house alarm goes off, except for not as loud, but incredibly shrill and incredibly loud.
He is going to reach over and try to smash it.
All right, roll just a unarmed attack, so just a strength attack.
That is a 6.
You go to smack it, and you hit the corner of the table and knock it onto the ground, and it's beeping now on the ground, out of reach.
Okay, I get it. I will get up. He's going to sit up. Stretch. Then he's going to glare daggers at that alarm clock and immediately fumble to get it off.
All right, you grab it and you press down on the button at the top, and eventually it ceases and is silent.
He's going to sit there staring at it for a bit. Then just sit on the table and get up.
It is blinking 7:30 a.m.
Oh, balls. He's going to get up and rush to the bathroom to get dressed.
All right. As you rush to the bathroom and almost run into the mirror, would you like to describe what your character looks like?
Certainly. Khel Zouren is a silver-scaled dragonborn, standing approximately 6'8". The most prominent feature on him is, well, that elongated draconic maw. His face, simply put, a little terrifying. Almost skeletal in design.
Is he a silver dragon or a white dragon?
White dragon, sorry about that.
Yeah, you described him as silver, so...
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
he is a white-scaled dragonborn with silver eyes.
You grab a button-up shirt and you quickly kind of yank it over. It's a bit difficult. It snags on the scales, especially around the elbows, but you manage to kind of, like, press it, make it look super nice. You kind of run over and grab just a quick snack out of the pantry, and as you make your way out the door with your keys and your pass, there is actually a note taped to the door with a key on it that was left for you.
He's going to grab the note and see what it says, while pocketing the key.
As you read it, it says, "Hey, sorry, I forgot to give you the garbage disposal key. Here it is. Put it somewhere safe. There is a double if you lose it, but please don't lose it. Kara." You know that Kara is the daughter of the landlord, who you currently are renting from.
Kara. I will try to remember this. And he'll just pocket the note as well.
Okay. You kind of make your way down the stairs and out of the building. As you guys all descend and make your way into the city streets, the high skyscrapers crowning above the sky as you begin to make your way through. You guys make your way out. There is a lot of pedestrians in Rampoon City, more than some of you are used to. Specifically, most of you have moved to what is known as the Heavens Ward, a very nice part of town with a lot of apartment buildings, affordable living. As you guys make your way through, you see a bunch of rabble-rousing sort of conversation, some construction dwarves currently working on fixing some potholes in the streets, an elf sticking his head out of the door of, like, the window of a car, yelling at them to hurry up, he's going to be late. You see various creatures selling goods. You see harpies making deliveries at various homes and handing over clipboards to be signed as you guys make your way through. Eventually, the traffic picks up. As you make your way through, Michael Bryant, you are immediately, as you're walking, kind of checking your cell phone and checking the time and figuring out what route to take to get to your new job. Something flies in front of your face, just like immediately, like almost like a piece of paper flying into your face or a garbage bag, and it kind of makes you suddenly go,
"Oh, hi there, sir. Can I interest you in a morning paper? Newest edition."
You look and
no
you
thanks.
see a small fairy dragon, purple fairy dragon, about the size of a house cat, kind of just like hovering in front of you, holding up a newspaper with two of its front little hands.
Look, I appreciate it. Look, I got to get to work, but, you have a good rest of your day.
Okay. The comics in this one's really good.
I don't read comics, but thank you.
You watch as it kind of flies away back to it's got like a little soapbox, and it's just got a stack of papers.
I'm going to be trying to chill on the streets these days.
You eventually make your way to the terminal, and where you see just a plethora of different individuals. You see elves, dwarves, humans. You see bugbears, orcs, all manner of various different races, all standing in line, kind of, pushing and making space and general sort of noise that echoes within the large aluminum roof of this sort of open bus stop kind of terminal. Eventually you begin to hear the sound of hissing magic and various other sounds of workers asking for people to step back as a large silver train, a tram system, rolls into the station.
Okay.
The doors open up. And the moment they open up, you watch as even more people come out of the train and begin to disperse. And the moment that comes to a qualm, everybody else on the outside begins to just load into these various different cars.
I guess I'm going to get into one of these cars because I got to get to work. Have I ever seen the train be silver before?
Is
that pretty normal?
It changes color, usually based on where it came from.
Gotcha.
As you are all aware, because you've been here, some of you longer than others, the city of Rampoon is split into sectors, and each sector is ruled by a different individual. But all in all, the city has essentially grown into this amalgamated place. The districts that you would know about, and I will recommend writing them down.
Yep, hang on a second. Google. Okay. Alrighty, I should be good to go.
The one you guys know the best is where you're currently living, which is called the Heavens Ward.
Heaven's Ward, okay.
It is led by a Celestial.
Does that Celestial have a name?
Roll a history check.
Okay. This is gonna be bad. I'm never good at history in these games. Oh boy, that's definitely... Okay, here we go. How's a 14?
You have no idea.
Great.
Probably some stupid angel name that's really hard to pronounce and has way
Yeah,
too
man,
many.
screw the LA Angels. All right, cool. So it's led by a Celestial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the Heaven's Ward.
That's the Heavens Ward. Usually when the train comes in and it's silver, it's been to the Fey Ward.
Normally comes from the Fey Ward.
The Fey Ward, yeah. And the Fey Ward, as it suggests, is led by a Fey.
Okay. Do they have a name, or is that another history check?
That's a mystery check. You have no idea. No one
Mystery
knows.
Oh, okay.
No one knows who the leader of the Fey district, the Fey Ward,
So
is.
knowledge, nope. Got it.
Yep. Beyond that, you're aware of other districts.
Okay.
There is the most common, which is the Central District, which is led by no one.
It's led by nobody.
Led by nobody. Think of it as like, and Zito will get mad at me, but think of it as like Times Square, New York. It's kind of the big center point.
Gotcha. So it's more an area than it is an actual, like, city. Or
It's a gathering hub.
It's like a gathering hub, of everything. Beyond that, you would know about, actually, Khel Zouren, you would definitely know about the Dragons Ward. It's also known as the Economy Ward.
A lot of the business done there.
Yeah, big business sector there.
Makes sense, because dragons and hordes.
No leader there, though there are many powerful dragons there. Then there is the Lich Ward. The less you know about the Lich Ward, the better.
I was gonna say, yikes.
Then, after that, is the Demons Ward, or the Devil's Ward, better known as the Fiend's Ward, but it's constantly flipping between demon or devil.
Oh, good. And that's the Licht Ward, or that's the Demon Ward?
That's the Demon-Devil Ward, yeah.
Demon/Devil Ward, okay.
As you guys make your way in to the train, you notice that there are various different stops that kind of mark. There's just like trails of advertisements up above where the doors and like the handlebars are. But amongst that are various glowing Ionian lights that kind of indicate the various different spots and the various different wards. As it stands right now, this train is heading to a different sector of the Heavens Ward. It is not leaving this ward.
All right. Do I know if that will take me to work or not?
Roll a survival check.
Great.
All of you roll a survival check as well.
Oh, God. I should be good at these. Come on, Remy, be with me. 14.
That is a 16.
22.
22.
All right. All of you guys managed, with the assistance of some like tram workers. Yourself, Michael Bryant, you needed a lot of help with your directions. The rest of you guys were fine. You guys managed to take the right trains, the right buses, and eventually find yourselves in front of the large and almost impressive building of the Rampoon Police Department, the Heavens Rampoon Police Department. The building is actually very beautiful. It is a mixture of stonework and a lot of glass, surprisingly. There are various statues depicted up front of who you seem are people of influence. One in particular is a officer with a sword at his side, wearing his armor, currently holding the hand of a child who's kind of looking up to him. That's kind of like the main statue in the front. You notice that there is quite a few loiterers around here. Various people kind of arguing on phones and taking a smoke outside. You notice there's actually like two harpies who are clearly like taking a break from delivering stuff, who are just like shooting the shit. And you do notice that there's actually like a couple of protesters outside of the police department. But they seem to be like just kind of like mulling about, but you can see signage. Basically it says like beast folk should not marry, stuff like that. It kind of goes on, and it's very, like, it seems like they're kind of leaving for the day. It's rather weird. Or at least they're showing up. You're not sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to work because I feel like this has just been hell of a day already. I didn't want to wake up in the first place.
As you head towards the door, you bump into someone. And Khel Zouren, as you're walking towards the door, you also bump into someone. Khel Zouren and Michael, you guys run into each other as you're making your way to the door.
Oh, hey, sorry.
My apologies. I did not mean to cut you off.
No, after you.
No, I insist. Let me get the door for you. And Khel Zouren will immediately go to grab the door.
Alrighty, okay. That is weird. Okay.
All right.
Just gonna walk in.
As you pull open the door, this large kind of glass door, the scent that hits you immediately is the smell of paper and like printer ink. It just hits you immediately. There's no other smell to this room but printer ink. And you guys make your way in, and there's currently a bunch of people sitting. You see that there's currently an officer holding what appears to be like a young half-orc who just looks very kind of like thuggish. He's got like a toque on and looks like he's got a broken like nose. And he's currently being held by this officer who looks not that pleased as you guys kind of make your way through. As you do so, at this point, Viro Tanis, you've already made your way actually through before these individuals, and you've actually been kind of waiting in the sort of waiting area for a bit.
He's got headphones on. He's just slapping his knee, just waiting, looking around.
Eventually you watch as the front desk worker, a human woman, she looks about probably like mid to late 40s actually, is currently dealing with an officer who seems to be kind of in a hurry. Eventually you watch as she kind of reaches over and hands him something, and he's just like, thank you so much, and he kind of leaves out the door, and she kind of looks and goes, next.
I'm assuming that's me. And he'll get up and walk over.
Okay. You walk over. She kind of turns and begins to just like kind of rapidly, really fast, like super, super fast, types on a keyboard and then turns over to you. Hi, dear. How can I help you?
Hi. And he's there to he's.
You were approved to work here. Your guys' resumes were accepted, so you were told to come in.
It's my first day. I'm supposed to be reporting in for sort of orientation, I think.
Name? She turns it back to the computer.
Viro Tanis.
Viro Tanis. Okay, yeah, you're in the system. Yep, you're going to be wanting... hold on. There's a note here. Yes, you're going to be wanted in room 250. If you just go down the hallway that way, forward, it's off to the left before the elevator. Don't go on the elevator by accident. You won't find where you're trying to go.
Gotcha.
Gives you a wink.
All right. Does she have like a name tag on?
Yes, she does. It says Kathy Gray on it.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Gray, and you have yourself a pleasant day. Thank you.
If you're working here, it's Officer Gray to you, sir. She turns back to the computer.
Officer, I apologize. Sorry.
Don't worry, you'll get it. She kind of gives you a smile.
Thank you again. And he'll walk off and go to the elevator and go to where he's going.
Next.
I assume since Michael went first, he'll go to the desk since he'll be ahead of him.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, dear. How can I help you?
Hi, it's my first day. I'm just checking in.
Oh, okay. Same room. If you heard me talking to the gentleman earlier. You heard what I said to the gentleman earlier?
Oh, yeah, I could follow him. Thank you, officer.
Yeah, of course. Perfect. Next.
I'd say at this point, Khel Zouren's finally getting in. He probably got stuck holding the door for a lot of people.
Arcolf, it's just you as a dragonborn. What are you doing?
He will
as
go
you
to
walk
the
up,
desk.
as you go up to the desk worker is kind of looking away, and she turns and goes, oh.
I am so very sorry. That is a very common reaction.
It's okay. Oh, it's fine. I just wasn't expecting it. Sorry, dear. How can I help you?
It is my first day. I'm supposed to be reporting.
Oh, yeah, that's room 250, before the elevator. Don't get lost.
250, no elevator.
Yeah.
He's got a little notepad. He's just writing this down.
I think they're waiting for you. You might be a little bit late, but that's okay. Trains sometimes run a little late. We understand.
So room 250, do not go on elevator. Down the hall and to the left, you said, yes?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you very, very much for your help.
Of course. Anytime.
Miss... I am sorry.
Officer Gray.
Officer Gray.
Officer.
I will remember this.
Officer Gray.
Thank you. And he will proceed down to that room.
Pleasure to be working with you, sir. She immediately turns around and just goes right back to the computer. You watch as an officer goes up and goes, "Yeah, can I get a lawyer for it?" They start talking. You make your way through, and the smell here is like old linoleum, and just paper. It just smells so much like paper. It smells like a news printing press in here as you make your way through. You watch as various different officers kind of turn and look towards you guys. Obviously, you're in some civilian attire as you make your way through. Eventually, the three of you find yourselves in what appears to almost look like a classroom. The windows are low. There's a lot of desks and a lot of like school chairs in this room. There's a whiteboard at the front, and you do notice that there's an officer in here as the three of you all enter in succession, eventually making your way in.
Are there like desks that we sit at, or tables, or what?
Yeah, there's like tables. There's currently an officer at the front just kind of writing on the whiteboard.
I'm going to take a random seat and just sit my butt down in the chair.
I will do so also. Preferably in a comically small desk.
All right.
Viro
Stuff
will
the
also.
big boy. We're all too tall for this damn.
Yeah,
boy.
you guys all sit down and you're all just like tall boys. The guy
Viro
at the
has already sat down and he's got his hands in his pocket and he's slouched back.
As you guys entered, the guy at the front actually is incredibly tall as well. He has like black hair that's kind of brought to a point, like it's gelled to the front. And he is wearing the uniform of an officer, which would be essentially like a breastplate kind of look to it, with the sort of officer, like the symbol of the police, and kind of like a gray shirt with, you know, the proper identification of the officer. And he kind of turns around and goes, "Well, it isn't the new blood."
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Gather
Good
some
morning.
Name's Tyler. Nice to meet you, gentlemen. Well, yeah. He just kind of looks you over and kind of nods. He looks a little bit like a Chad. Like he's kind of got like the butt chin and like the really chiseled
man.
face. As he kind of looks you all over. Human, elf, and that is really neat. He kind of points towards you, Khel Zouren.
Neat in what way?
We don't have any half dragons here, so you're gonna be.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, they don't really come around here. Not in the Heavens Ward too often. Mostly stick around the Dragon's Ward, you know, banks and all.
Then I will do my best to leave a good impression.
Well, face like that, I hope you give some rabble rousers a good impression. He kind of gives you a wink. Well,
Zoran's head will sink.
we have some. We went through. He kind of starts flipping through paperwork. Bodyguard. He points to you, Tanis.
That's correct.
And then we have fighter,
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
ice cream salesman.
Yes.
Sorry, what? Wait, who?
Looks towards you, Khel Zouren.
Wait, you sold ice cream?
Yes. It was very, very popular. I greatly enjoyed
Yeah, but like, how did you fit in the truck?
it. It was a big truck.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
But
How big? Might have swung by at some point. I guess it doesn't matter.
Fairly big. Stuck to the poorer parts of the city. Kids like ice cream and don't always have best life, so good ice cream.
I can respect
Okay.
that.
paramedic background does you a lot of good too. You watch he slaps down the paper on the table.
You're
Well,
a paramedic ice cream man?
It is my goal to make people smile. Whether that is because they are eating ice cream or because they are not dying, either way, they smile.
I'm just worried about the kind of ice cream that you were selling. If you had to know like CPR while you were serving the kids, never mind.
It was primarily they'd get ice cream, they'd see face, they'd choke on ice cream. Good to know CPR.
Huh.
Okay.
yeah, you guys will fit in here. All right. Well, let's get you geared up, and we'll take you to orientation. And he gives kind of a wink. Follow me.
Khel will do so.
No, you guys have a pretty good reputation. Clean bills of criminal health. No, it's gonna be good to have some new blood here, especially with the Prince Division being as empty as it is. It's gonna be a real shame. Can't get my paperwork done up there anymore if you guys are gonna show up. But, oh well.
Why is it empty?
Anyway, what kind of uniforms do you guys want? We got, you got your standard fare, but for you magic casters, you're not gonna want to wear armor. You're gonna want to wear something a little bit more light and with ease. So, how you feeling?
Do you have chainmail or anything equivalent?
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. Based on your guys' starting gear, which I don't think, did you guys receive starting gear or no?
You told us to go over what was in the book, yes.
Okay, this is where you're going to receive your starting gear. So
Sweet.
anything you guys got as your starting gear through the character creation process, you now have in your inventory now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you guys take a while to basically get the right size. For some of you, it's harder than others. And eventually you guys get donned up. Yeah, sorry, we can, not really much we can do about that. Just take your time, no rush.
At least you did not leave a gaping hole for the tail.
No, I mean, you're not the only one who works here with a tail, so you're good.
Thank you for that. You have no idea how hard it is to find proper clothing.
Alright, well, orientation. Let's go. Follow me, boys.
Guys, can I just point out we have 911 viewers right now?
Pretty good. You guys make your way through more hallways. This building is huge. It's actually quite large. And eventually you guys make your way into what it basically is like a wood-paneled, almost like ballet, like studio. But it's like a gym ballet studio with like mirrors on one wall. There's no bars. But you notice that there are 3 officers currently with a magical powered RC car right now, kind of just like messing around with it and like chattering amongst themselves. Hey! You watch as Tyler kind of whistles and all 3 of them kind of turn and look. 2 of them are human, one of them's a dwarf. They're all fairly young officers for the most part. The moment he kind of whistles, one of them picks up the RC car and puts it away in a case. Looks like some sort of like police tool. All right.
Does this look like to be like it's like a practicing room of some kind?
You notice there are weapons on the wall, yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Well, assuming I know what this is, this like a firing range? Like, is there stations?
There are no stations. This is not a firing range. This is specifically
Okay.
appears to be a close combat range of some sort. You watch as Tyler kind of like loftily kind of like flips himself around to face you guys and kind of starts taking some very comfortable steps backwards, kind of like rubbing the palm of his hand with his other hand and kind of lolls his head and goes, "All right, stand up, orientation, let's go. Let's see what you're made of."
Oh,
Oh,
Michael's going to start stretching.
Oh, I was expecting sort of like a seminar or something. Oh,
Yes,
all right.
I was expecting a speech or something.
Oh, no, this is the part where we kick their ass and make them look very bad.
Fuck you! One of the humans kind of
Well-
turns and says.
Look,
I
it's
mean-
not my fault you're about to get your ass whooped.
I'm not sure that that's what this is all about, but I mean,
No, this is,
all right.
They're going to teach us how to do CQC and all this. Oh, man. Hey, I'm choking out the noisy one. You guys can take whichever one you want.
Yeah, the noisy one's got like a buzz cut. The other one, the other human is like bald with kind of like a goatee. He looks out of all of them like the most mature. The dwarf is like rolling up his sleeves already. He's got like a big beard, kind of like pulled back hair, and all of them grab spears and stand across from you. And I need everybody to roll initiative for me.
Let's go, baby.
All right.
All right.
That is a 7.
How does a 3 do?
How did you get a 7.1?
How'd you get
Yeah,
a 7.1? What?
Yeah, it added plus 0.1.
In the settings, there is an add dex tiebreaker to initiative. That way, if we hit the same thing, it goes ahead and adds dexterity. We don't have to fuss over it. Just tells us what it is.
Oh.
Look at Arcolf making me look like an idiot. Get out of here. You're fired. All right.
Got him.
And Viro Tanis.
13.
Okay. I will roll for the guards. They rolled really badly.
Worse than us?
Yeah, very badly.
Worse than a 3?
Did they
I
get
rolled
3
pretty
natural
bad. I had a
ones?
-1.
They got a natural 1.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah! Let's go!
We're gonna go with Khel, and then we're gonna go with Bryant. All right, and then. All right, so Viro Tanis, you watch as Tyler pulls a whistle and just gives a sharp blow, and immediately the 3 officers pull out long, very refined-looking metal spears. Immediately.
They're pulling out spears?
Yep, they're pulling out spears.
Oh, all right.
So
That's
Viro
right.
Tanis,
And,
you are up first.
All right, so I'm assuming this isn't just one-on-one. This is a free-for-all. So
Yep, there are
as
3
soon as
3 versus 3.
Vero was doing some light stretching beforehand, but as soon as that whistle blows, like a blur of motion, he is just in the dwarf's face.
Okay.
He's holding his short sword by the scabbard in one hand.
Now, as we go into combat, I'm going to say this right now, and this is going to be consistent through this entire campaign. Unless stated otherwise, you will always deal non-lethal damage to your target. You will never outright kill a target with when you drop them to 0 hit points. It will always.
Oh, perfect.
Got
It will
I
always
was
drop
worried
them to
about
being
that.
unconscious. Yeah. So obviously, your officers, your goal is to apprehend. So you do not immediately kill people when you drop them to 0 hit points, like you would do in traditional Dungeons and Dragons fashion. So keep
makes
that in
sense.
mind.
That is
All right.
that is good to know. So as soon as that whistle blows, just absolutely fast as greased lightning up in this dwarf's face, and he takes the scabbard and he smacks him across the face once with it.
All right.
I'm going.
Go ahead,
That'll be
and-
my unarmed strike. Natural 20.
Oh my god. Okay,
Well-
roll damage. Wow, what a way to start.
That is 9 damage.
9 damage. All right. Yeah, you swing up in front of this dwarf and you bash his face, and you can see his nose go into his face. And he's like, oh, motherfucker! And he kind of like staggers back, almost falling over. That's a lot of damage for him. That really hurt
Yeah,
him.
and a shimmer goes across his glasses, and I'm going to burn a key point to use Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
So that's going to be 2 more unarmed strikes against the dwarf. 16.
That just hits as you do kind of like an uppercut into his gut. And you manage to breach through the armor.
I'm specifically whenever he is using his unarmed strike, he is hitting them with the scabbard of his sword.
Okay.
It just thwack and deals 5 bludgeoning.
All right, as you bring it into his stomach, he keels over onto the ground unconscious.
And then he pivots on his foot and turns to one of the other humans, the guy that wasn't so talkative when we first started this, and he's going to hit him with his other unarmed attack for Flurry of Blows.
As you swing your foot around and face him, you see as he brings up his spear and he goes, "Mother, what the fuck?" It just kind of is like totally like, "Holy shit, wasn't expecting that."
Woo! Unarmed strike. It's gonna be 23 to hit
That hits.
for 4 bludgeoning.
All right, you punch him. He kind of almost blocks your arm a little bit, so you don't do as much damage to him as you think, but you do manage to get him in like this cheek of the cheek in a way.
And as soon as he finishes his attack, he sort of steps back a little bit, almost like a not getting out of his threat range, but he is stepping back and making sure he has his hand on the handle of his blade.
Yeah,
And
you
he
were
just
within. You are within 5 feet of both of these guys in this room at this point.
That's perfectly fine.
All right, Khel Zouren, it
That'll be
is
my
now
turn.
your turn. In a flash, you've seen a dwarf go right, like, smack down to the ground.
I guess he came up short. Khel Zouren's going to plod in, shield raised high. He's going to make certain he's within 30 feet of both Bryant and Tanis. And then
easy enough.
Then he's going to cast Bless on them.
Okay,
Level 1.
Hooray!
so you guys are blessed. You get a d4 to add to any attack roll. Not for damage, but to hit.
Now, how much of my movement would that have used? Do I have enough left over to get right next to Tanis? So I'm in
Oh
melee
yeah,
range with the shield?
You honestly do not have to move from where you are at all. You have to use no movement to be next to Tanis at this point. So you're good. You're right next to him.
Okay, he's going to be right up there with Tanis, shield at the ready. And that ends my turn. That's the only thing I can do.
Okay, Bryant, it is now your turn.
Woohoo! Where's the douchebag?
Douchebag is right in front of you, about probably 10 feet away.
I'm going to hit him in the face.
All right, you run up.
And I probably don't hit him. Although,
Nope.
wait, I'm going to add my D4 to it. Because you blessed us, right? So I can do this?
Yep.
Yep, you can add D4.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. So that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12 to hit.
Doesn't hit. As you go to swing, he parries your longsword with his spear and just kind of tosses down and kind of gives you this, like, smug kind of, like, shit-eating grin.
All right, you know what? If I break his jaw, it ain't on me.
All right, does that end your turn?
Yep.
All right. It is now these two officers' turns. The douchebag in front of you, Officer Bryant, is going to attack you with his spear. That is going to be a 15.
That'll miss.
It'll miss.
I like how we just call him douchebag officer now.
Officer douche.
As he goes to swing, you kind of like grab the spear with like your elbow and kind of press it to your body and try and twist it from him, but he manages to like pull it out, but you manage to like let go of it before it slices you. The other human guard, who's a bit more quiet and seems a little bit more calculated, turns towards you, Tanis, seeing you as the most immediate threat, and he is going to swing with his spear. That's going to be a 22.
That'll hit.
Yeah, he got a really good swing there. All right. And he's using two hands, so... That is going to be 7 points of piercing damage as he manages to jab you right in the side with the spear.
And these are like training spears. I haven't drawn blood, right?
No, they are just training spears.
All right.
But they're enough to really knock the wind out of you. They're not pulling any punches here. The bald officer kind of turns and goes, "Eye on your enemy. Don't lose your sight. Come on." All right, back up to your turn, Tanis.
Okay. And he's going to rush forward in another blur of motion.
Okay.
Going for another unarmed strike.
Okay,
17.
that hits.
7 bludgeoning.
All right, he's down. As you swing
And-
around, he kind of goes to jab you again. You knock back his spear, and you manage to get him. How do you want to knock him out?
I will flick open I'll just barely draw the blade until just the faintest inch of steel is showing, and I will clamp it back down around the head of the spear, rip it out of his hands, and then right in his temple, just with the pommel, just boom.
Oh yeah, there's this kind of loud crack noise that echoes through the room, and you watch as he just like falls, just like thunk, right onto his back. Monks are scary.
Monks are great in 5e.
Going to, in another blur of movement, zip over to behind Officer Douchebag.
Right? He
And
is now
I'm going to just knock on his. I'm just going to knock gently on the back of his head just to try and get his attention. Boom, boom.
Just for context, same as the Unexpectables, +2 if you're flanking.
Hooray.
All right, Khel Zouren, it is now your turn.
So Officer Douchebag's the only one left.
Yeah, he is surrounded currently.
Caught on.
I'm gonna smack him with a stick. That is
Alright.
an 11.
As you bring up the stick, he brings up the spear and knocks it back and almost jabs you in the side with like the blunt end of the spear.
Alrighty. I think that's the only thing I can do, so that ends my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Officer Bryant.
All right, I am about to hit this guy in the face again, and I really hope it hits. I need this to hit. Please hit. 12 again?
Well, +4. You can roll a d4 to try and hit.
Oh, right.
Yep, because the bless is still active.
Okay.
I'm a helper.
Yay! 16!
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need to hit.
All right.
I helped.
All right, here we go. Please do the thing. There it is. 11.
Ooh.
Immediately out. The moment.
So, can I do something to him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, go right for
Okay,
it.
so as he blocks that, I'm going to look down at his feet. I'm going to look back up at him. You shifted your weight too far to the back, stupid. And I'm going to bash him in the face.
Oh, you watch as he falls to the ground and the spear clang, 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 clatters to the ground.
Seeing that he hit him extra hard, he'll just sort of drop to one knee and catch him before he hits his head on the floor.
Yeah, you
And
managed
then
to catch
lay him down gently. That's dangerous.
I know. He should have known better.
As you guys kind of put your weapons away, you begin to hear a voice behind you call out in a very serious tone. What are you doing?
This is orientation.
And you watch as nervously Tyler turns over to the sort of opening, the entryway to this room, as you guys see this character.
Is there art?
There's art.
I love art.
All right. You see a young tiefling woman currently holding a clipboard and just a pile of paper. And she kind of stumbles in, and she looks really aghast at what's going on. What are you doing, Tyler? What is this? Oh, hey, Lucy, how's it going? He kind of, like, stumbles over and, like, goes to kind of put a hand on her shoulder, and she kind of bats it away. Aren't these my recruits? Yeah, they are. You know, I just want to see if they were... And she just kind of shoves them aside, and she walks up to the three of you. You guys okay? I'm so sorry.
Oh, was this... I had a feeling something was... I'm so sorry.
No, Tyler! She turns over, and at this point, Tyler's already out of the room and gone.
Was Tyler douchebag guy or the other guy?
No, Tyler was the guy who brought you in here to
Can
fight.
Khel Zouren be checking on the other 3 recruits?
Oh, they're fine. They're completely fine. They're getting up, and they're already, like, wiping their nose.
So, just so that we're all on the same page, were we not supposed to do that?
No, you were supposed to meet me in the Prince Division office. I went to go speak with Kathy, and she said there was a change, and now I know why. I am so sorry. I swear he's an imp. I have no idea why he's the way he is. Here, and she walks over to, like, the kind of douchebaggy guy you guys beat up. She just dumps the paperwork on here. There's his paperwork. I'm so sorry. You're all okay? You don't need to sit down. You're okay?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I got hit a little bit in the stomach, but I think
Do you need healing?
Thank you, though.
I saw that. Okay. I'm so sorry. Please. Okay. Follow me. You 3.
I'm fine.
Are you sure? I mean, I have...
Yeah, I've taken hits before. I'm perfectly fine.
Oh, good. Okay. Excellent. No, this is great. All right,
Everything is fine.
she's sweating, by the way. She's, like, sweating bullets right now. Oh, she's, like, walking. She's like, oh, no, Lucy, take care of everything. It'll be fine, they said. Oh, it's great. Tyler exists. It's not fine. She just keeps walking. Welcome to the station. As you can see, we have a lot of, she looks over and there's a bulletin board with, like, tons of, like, wanted posters and missing person posters. Posters, crime, and solved crime. You know, everything anyone could want at a police station. What are your names? I know what your names are, but I don't know who is who, exactly.
He'll hold up his hand. Tanis, Viro Tanis.
Oh, nice to meet you. She takes your hand. It's cold to the touch, but she's very gentle, very polite with the hand.
Mike will stick out his hand. Bryant. Michael Bryant.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Bryant. And you.
Khel Zouren will
Similar
extend his
complexion,
hand.
huh? A pleasure to meet you. You must be Zouren, then.
Yes, Khel Zouren at your service.
I was surprised to see a half-dragon applied for the position.
That is what the other guy said.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really see too many in the Heavens Word usually. I mean, not all the time, but just not very frequently. This way, I'll show you guys to your desks. Come on. You watch as she very hurriedly kind of takes you up the stairs. She seems very non-authoritative in a way, which compared to being in a police station is a little odd. As she kind of like makes note of people who are walking by. You watch as she walks by another female officer, and the female officer kind of turns and goes, Lucy, can you do my paperwork? I have to go out if you wouldn't mind. She's like, oh no, I don't mind at all. You watch as the officer leaves, and she goes, and keeps walking.
Do the others treat you like that all the time?
Well, I mean, the Prince Division is exactly booming with activity, so you gotta keep the pencil hand fast and trained.
If you ever
Tyler
need
would put
help,
it.
please let me know. I will do all I can
Oh.
to assist.
Well, I'm glad, because, well, and she opens up a door and leads into what is the Prince Division, and you see that there are, how many desks would there be? There would be 6 desks. One that is very clearly hers, which is like piles and piles of papers and files, just like almost floor to ceiling. It's a little ridiculous. There is a very large desk that kind of sits near the door, kind of in the center, very commanding. And then there are 4 identical desks with equal amounts of paperwork on them, which is probably about a good foot in height. And everything else is like perfectly put in order, like almost like obsessively. There's like 3 pens that are perfectly like apart from each other. There's 3 pencils on the other side, perfectly apart from each other. A stapler, all kinds of things, and a computer, a laptop in the center. Here you go. So it looks like none of you have experience in, well, at least formal experience in keeping the peace, so to speak. So I usually Chief Roche would be the one who would kind of fill you in on, guidelines, but he's out at the moment, so it's just you and me. There was supposed to be a 4th, but unfortunately she couldn't make it in today. She's being held up by the Mage Ministry. You watch as Lucy's face kind of goes a little tired and a little exhausted looking. But, she should be here pretty soon. Yeah, any questions? I don't know
Michael's
how much...
going to raise his hand.
Yes, Mr. Bryant.
So, just out of curiosity, for my own sake, I watch a lot of the cop shows on TV. How much of that is real? Like the whole Miranda rights thing. Like, is all that legitimate? Do they exaggerate it? Because I feel like I've seen enough episodes to maybe have a general idea, but I'm just kind of curious if it's I'm gonna stop talking.
She presses her fingers together in each hand. Well, really, it depends on what district you're in. I'm sure you're no strangers to Rampoon, but I'm hoping that you haven't been to some of the less savory parts of the city. The Lich District and the Fiend District, to be specific. Generally...
Have I?
I would say probably none of you have. Given
okay.
all of your previous jobs, none
Monty,
of you...
is there a really good show about the Lick District that I might know about?
You would have heard stuff in the news.
Okay.
But if you want to know, roll a history check. Also,
Sure, why not? This couldn't possibly end badly. History, you said. Here we go. 9.
9. You don't have a clue.
As in, I don't know because no. 9, no.
Well, as officers, our authoritative reach reaches mostly the Central and Heavens Ward. Sometimes we go into the Dragon's Ward. They like us.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. In terms of the Lich, Fiend, and Fey Ward, it gets tricky there, but hopefully we won't have to go anywhere near there. But yeah, generally, yes, you want to, it sort of bring in, apprehend, and process later tends to be our sort of philosophy here. Obviously, be courteous and be gentle, but don't be afraid to really be firm. It can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, I think we can handle that.
Okay, great.
We will do our best.
Awesome.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to keep the peace around the city.
Well, you are the only ones who applied, so it's appreciated.
Wait, really?
The Prince
Why is
Division
that?
position isn't exactly the most luxurious, I'd say. Not that I want you to leave. I just mean to send, you mentioned TV shows. It's nothing, well, sometimes it can be. I don't work out on the field. I don't know. I'm sorry. She looks at all the paperwork and just looks back to you, kind of like, help me.
This is to help people. It is not for the glitz and glamour. If they are thinking that, they are thinking incorrectly.
Oh, great. Let me, hold on. She kind of like begins to dig through paperwork and eventually pulls out a case. First but foremost, your badges. These are for you. You watch as she opens up the case, and there are 4 badges inside. So you'll always want to be carrying these, even when you're off duty. So if you ever, come upon anything when you're off duty, which we don't recommend engaging, but if you feel you can do something, you can present this badge, and other officers can assist you. So these are for you.
Khel Zouren will take whichever one looks like his.
They're all identical, so.
Then he will take the one on the far right.
He'll pick it up. Is it one of those that fits in a wallet, or one that you pin on to?
These one you put in a wallet. You put somewhere somewhere safe. That's not revealed. It's something you pull out. Gotcha. It's not something you just wear.
We get badge numbers?
You do, yeah. If you guys want to pick a number.
How many numbers?
It has to be it's 3-digit, so it's a 3-digit number. So.
Oh, perfect! I already got mine.
Anyone who does 666 or 69 is immediately not allowed to be in the game anymore. Or
no, I have a different number.
Or 420, that is also not allowed.
Oh gosh, darn it! Officer 420 is already taken.
Yeah.
Nah.
He works in the narcotics division.
He does. He's the best cop.
I will be badge number 782.
Okay, 782.
I will be badge number 014.
014. Okay.
And I will be badge number 824.
All right, and with that, that's going to make Officer Bryant, Officer Tanis, and Officer Zouren. Welcome to the Prince Division. Yay! So I guess to start, you watch as the door opens up. And you watch, walking in is a very reasonably sized man. He is somewhat portly, and he looks like this.
How'd I get in there?
Whoa!
He walks in with a coffee in his hand, like a mug. He takes one step into the room and immediately stops and sees all of you. And immediately Lucy turns and goes, "Oh, Chief Roche, the new hires are here. I'm just running them through the ropes." And the moment he hears that, he just closes the door and leaves and is gone.
Oh, God.
And you're...
Wait, he goes back into his office, or he just
leaves? He enters, sees you, closes the door, and is gone instantly. And I was gonna give them a tour.
He seems nice.
Yeah, nice is the word for it.
Could I insight that?
Sure, go ahead.
I would absolutely love to insight that as well.
I'm going to insight him.
Okay.
Oh, shit, right, I suck at insight. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you guys...
Oh, natural, let me go, nat 20!
Natural
I
20?
was just happy to be here.
Let's
so
go.
He's not inciting.
24.
All right. Between the two of you, the moment you see him enter and see you, it's a mixture of anger and hurt, and he immediately leaves.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
I don't know if I'm being too forward, but did something happen to some of the previous officers here?
Hey, how about a tour? She kind of slaps her hands together excitedly. Would you like to take a look around the department?
Sure.
Look,
Yeah, but could you maybe answer his question?
we're not allowed to talk about...
You don't have to. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but case 620 is classified. We can't really talk about
Ooh, I need to
it.
make a note of that.
620.
Thank you.
The DL6 incident.
Let's son of a bitch. I love you, Connor.
Always fun getting unintended information out of NPCs.
I mean, that's all I wanted. 620 case info is classified. Okay. Bam.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't need to
It's okay.
open up any old.
My mother always said you just got to keep going forward, and it's nice to have people in here again. I get really lonely. Just me and the paperwork. Just us.
Well, hopefully we can help you out with that whenever we can.
But you know what? First, like I said, tour. I'll show you around, because you're not going to be just working with me. Hopefully, you'll be working with others. So, what do you think? You want to go meet some fellow officers?
Sure.
Sweet. Excellent. She looks at the paperwork and is like, I'm free. And she opens the door and holds it open for you guys.
All right.
So, as you guys make your way out with Lucy, she is so enthused to be part of the tour. I'm just going to pull up her picture here. She is overjoyed to be out of the office and taking you through. The building is a 3-level building. The main floor being reception and just general, like, interrogation rooms, like places to immediately put people that need to be questioned or held. There is a holding cell far in the back, but is very much under a tight lock and key. The second floor is more of is the office space. That's where your guys' offices, the Prince Division offices. As you guys make your way up and look around, you notice that there are various different divisions, not just yours. There is just like a base police force here, and they take up a significant portion of the second floor. But as you're walking, Lucy kind of just leads and goes, so the amenities, so like the cafeteria, vending machines, things like that, those are all upstairs. There's many microwaves, good news. And there is a shared fridge. I recommend don't use it. Your food goes missing. I'm certain someone eats it all the time. But yeah, bathrooms on every floor. I can show them to you. And then your stuff will be kept in the office, and you're all going to get a key for that. Please do not lose that. We have to replace the whole lock if we lose a key. It's awful.
Has that happened many times in the past?
For our division, it happened twice. By the second time, we learned our lesson, so yeah. But yeah. Oh gosh, what should I show you first?
The cafeteria?
Sure, yeah.
Wiggle.
Absolutely. She leads you up. The cafeteria is a big open space. Actually, when you were standing outside of the building where there's like these big glass windows, that's where all the glass windows are, is in the cafeteria area. There is currently a bunch of people like mulling about. You notice there's one person who kind of stands out. You see a large tiger tabaxi currently eating what looks like a packed lunch at the moment. And he stands out because his uniform's different than everybody else's, specifically. Notably, your guys' uniforms are different than the average officers as well. And he's just kind of eating his lunch.
What does his uniform look like that makes it different, if we can ask?
His badge looks more important. He looks very important.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So he might be a captain or something.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay.
Lucy kind of turns and goes, that's actually the chief of the police, this entire building, actually. That's Police Chief Riddle. He's very nice. Oh, careful, Officer Tanis. Recycling goes out. It should have gone out probably yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That was just me expertly kicking a can into the recycling bin.
It is very good aim.
Yeah, the cafeteria, there's some food served, but honestly, packed lunches tend to be better. But that's just my opinion. Vending machines are pretty good. Got all kinds of nice drinks, like tea and stuff.
How expensive is the vending machine?
A couple gold pieces, give or take.
Gold?
You know, it's okay to breathe, by the way.
I know, it's nice. Refreshing change of pace. But there's still a lot to do, you know. You want to make a good first
you do not normally
impression.
breathe?
Oh, what? No, I just meant like it's okay for her to like take breaths after she's very nervous.
I see.
You guys are very tall. She is notably much shorter than you. She probably stands about like 5'6" at the tallest with the horns.
Tabaxi sitting down. Does he look like he's a pretty tall dude?
Oh yeah, he looks about like 6'5", and
We're taller than the chief.
yeah, you guys are taller than him, but he's wide. He's a tiger. He looks like he could rip your heads off.
Khel Zouren is also wide. He's a chunky
Not if I
boy.
put him in an ankle lock first.
But yeah, the lunches here are not bad, but usually it's better to do a packed lunch. I don't eat here. I usually eat because I work in the office all the time, so it's nice to see some sunlight. Did you want to say hello to the police chief? He actually might want to meet you.
Yes, I would
Yeah, I'm
love
always
to
down to
meet
meet new people.
Okay. You watch as
We're gonna meet
she
him sooner or later, I think. So
runs
That's
off.
a good point.
Notably, she has horns and a tail. She doesn't have like the cloven feet that some tiefling have, but she does have like a little kind of point tail at the end. She kind of runs over and rests a hand on his shoulder, and you watch as he turns, and his cheeks are just full. He's like, and just kind of turns up, and she's just like, "Oh, our new recruits came in, and they, oh, come on, don't be a stranger."
walk over.
Officer Tanis, Officer Bryant, and Officer Zouren. This is Police Chief Riddle. Police Chief Riddle. The names I just said. And she kind of steps back. And the Tiger Tabaxi stands up, and he's about, like, face level to all of you. And he kind of looks at her and goes, "Welcome to the Force. It's a pleasure to meet you." He reaches out a hand.
I'm going to make sure I give it a firm squeeze.
It's strong. It's very strong. And as much as he's careful, you can feel the really long claws that he's got at the end of his fingers.
I'm going to squeeze to assert dominance.
Okay. He appreciates it, but he's not off put by it. And he does so. He goes down to everyone, and he stops at you, Zora, and goes, "Half-dragon. We haven't had a half-dragon in the Force for... what, 20 years? Maybe? I'll have to do a history check on that.
It is rare for me. People do.
I want to think he said that in game. He's like, I should do a history check.
No, he actually did. He said that out loud.
He just rolls a dice.
Yeah, he's like, Yeah, no, I wasn't able to find anything.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Chief.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, too. If you have any problems and if Lucy is, being too hard on you, let me know. And be patient with Captain Rush. He's he's healing still.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's
did we get? Oh, right. Well, now that you bring it up, it seems like Officer Tyler has been giving Officer, hang on, I forgot her name, Officer Burroughs a hard time. Sort of waylaid us on our way to the orientation.
You watch as the police chief kind of turns and goes, again. He kind of goes, again? Lucy's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's fine, honestly. It's, he's just goofing off.
He had us fight other recruits as training. Orientation.
Sure, we knocked out, what was it? Was it Officer Douchebag was his name?
There was a dwarf and two
Tyler,
humans,
right,
one of which was bald.
Yeah, that sounds like...
The dude with the 90s hair's cut. That's the one we knocked out.
That sounds like Tyler. Sorry, he's got this sort of mischievous side to him. He likes to,
It's very nice.
I don't want to be a tattletale. I just figured maybe he should be,
I'll
a
talk.
little more professional.
I'll talk to him when I have time. Speaking of which, I should
understand.
Probably go. And you watch as he puts his lunch away. Notably, it's in a very cute container, and there's a note on it. If anyone wants to make a perception
Khel
check to
Zouren
get a
tried
glance.
to read that note.
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
All right.
Yeah. Wow, I suck at all the things I used to not suck at.
That is a
oh
9.
boy. 17 somehow. Bless you, Remy Spirit.
Percepcion. Natural 20.
Oh my
You son of a bitch.
All right.
His aviator shades twinkle a little bit in the light.
Okay. As you look at it, it says, "Love you lots. Hope you like the lunch, Tina."
All right. That's going to be blackmail information. Tina has significance to Riddle.
Which Chief Riddle kind of stands up and he collects his things and he leaves.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too as well. And Lucy, and she kind of stops. Just be careful around the necromancy division, okay? And Lucy kind of nods, like, "Oh yeah, of course." Well, cafeteria. Smells like soup and microwaves.
He was nice.
He was. He's a really good police chief. He doesn't deserve all
Does
this.
this look like most people bring their lunches?
Yeah, it looks like most people bring a lunch and sit down and eat. There is food that is offered here, but it looks kind of expensive, but it's not terrible.
Oh. Like, too expensive for what it is?
Yeah, completely. I guess it would, because of the conversion rate in Canada and America, it'd be like $10 for a really shitty burger, like that sort of thing.
Oh, what the
That is
fuck?
That's absurd.
Not eating here.
It's $10 for
Oh
fucking
wait, no,
Five
that's
Guys
just
over
Wendy's.
here.
Never
Damn.
mind.
If I'm desperate.
Yeah, it's like if you forgot your lunch, you have to buy that instead.
Yeah, they could fuck right off.
So where would you guys like to go next?
I mean, is there typically like a section or a tour that you normally give? Like, where's the next spot you normally take people?
Well, did you meet? You had to have met Kathy, front desk lady.
Oh yeah, Officer
Gray, Officer Gray.
Gray, yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping to meet her husband, Earl Gray, but
Don't.
T-Joe.
That's oof. Okay. She starts walking away.
Oh come on, that was good. Hey,
you follow.
you two laughed, right?
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. See, Dragon Boy knows what's up.
So
I understood.
well, there's two.
Like the tea.
There's two divisions we could swing by on our way back, because they'll be the ones you work with if you work at all. That would be the tech division and the forensics division. Which one would you like to visit first? They're both kind of equal distance.
Tech, please.
Tech?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not arguing with the giant dragon, so yeah, that.
That's completely fair. Plug your ears. And she leads you ahead.
Sorry, what?
As you guys turn a corner, you hear the muffled sound of really loud techno music. Like,
I like this already.
super loud techno music. Just boom, 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 boom.
Programmers.
Of sorts. You watch as she's already plugging your ears. She walks up and
Who knows what they're up to?
I never know.
Does it sound like EDM music,
It's
Monty?
EDM music. It's like hard-style EDM rave music.
So I have a question for you.
Yes?
Yeah, when you said tech room, did you mean tech as in technology or tech as in techno?
IT. Computers specifically. Hold on, you watch as she just kicks open the door with her foot, and the moment the door flies open, like, the music is blaring. It's, like, ridiculous.
Khel is just bobbing his head to the beat.
Henry!
Why?
Henry!
Why?
You watch as the music eventually gets shut off, and you watch as a gnome kind of rolls around the corner. The gnome is wearing, like, a Snuggie and, like, slippers. And has, like, his identification on the outside of that, and he's holding, like, a mug of, like, coffee. And he turns around the corner and goes, "What?" "Oh, okay."
Huh.
This is Officer Dibbolt. And she kind of places a hand near the gnome.
Can you spell that, please?
Dibbolt. Dibbolt.
Officer Dibbled?
Henry Dibbolt. Officer Dibbolt.
Does he have a daughter named Darla?
I don't know.
I fucking hate you.
You watch as he kind of looks up. He has to really crane his neck to look up at all of you. Who are these schmucks? Oh,
Hey.
Oh, it's okay. He's just abrasive. This is.
Oh, got it.
This is the new Prince division. 3 of the 4 are here. The 4th is in logistics transport. So I know something about logistics. The fuck?
Can I reach out a hand? Does he have a hand? Can I shake his hand?
Yeah, you can. As you're.
Hey, Officer Brian, nice to meet
Oh.
you. You must be Officer Asshole. Insecure Asshole. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. He switches his hand over because he's got a mug in one hand, and he shakes your hand, and it's firm. It's a firm grip for a gnome.
I like him. He can stay.
I'll fucking hack your computer and make it crash when you've done 2 hours of work. Don't test me. I'll do it. Come on in.
Dude, if my computer actually worked the way it was supposed to, you don't even want to know.
Sure, Troy, put the chips away. We got company. As you guys enter in, this room is dark. It is a cave. There is no light except for, like, lamps. You see that there is currently on, like, a high stool sitting at what looks like 5 monitors, a kobold, like a red kobold, wearing, like, gunner glasses and currently, like, just typing and scrolling through code. Your other eye catches a human who looks like he's 15. He looks 15. He's got, like, long kind of metal band hair, has, like, a metal t-shirt and, like, a hoodie over top, and there's just energy drink cans all over his desk. It's honestly, like, ridiculous how many, like, cans there are in this room right now. None of them even turn to look at you as you enter. They don't give a shit.
Oh, man, this is a lively group. Where's, hey... Who's the DJ?
That would be me right now. I could turn the music back on if you want.
Yes, yes, please.
No.
Please do.
We're gonna go with it. Look, okay. For once, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna veto. You gotta give me one veto.
All right, well, might as well make the introductions quick and sweet. If you ever find in yourself dealing with any sort of technology that's a mystery or any sort of information that pertains to computer or video, You bring it down here and we deal with it. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, good. We record.
Sounds good to me.
And don't fuck around with the computers. And if you're playing games on them, we know.
Wait, how do you know? Oh, yeah, hackers. Great. Okay.
Those who control the network control everything, sir.
Okay, that's creepy.
People play games on their computers when they're at the job.
More than you think. Tyler plays so much. He just looks at Lucy, and Lucy's like, yeah, that's probably why I got so much paperwork.
I have a
You
question.
seem like the
if I
most
may.
professional of sorts.
He gets results, so, yay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess that's all that matters.
Hey, have you played the new, what the hell was it called? Oh yeah, Undead Neighbors 3, the Rampoon City edition. That stuff was tight.
You watch as the kobold turns at hearing that and goes, casual, and turns back to the computer.
Hey, hold on a second. Look, all right, that's not okay.
Welcome to the Force. Excellent. Yeah, I'll give them passage. They have their badges, so, treat them nicely, please, Officer Dibble. Please. He kind of turns around and goes back to sit at his computer. Okay, well, yay! We met them. It's great. Let's leave.
Do you think they have keyboards
next
that
is-
would work with the, Gil will look down at his very long claws. Yeah, troublesome digits.
I'm sure it'll be fine. A lot of fancy computers nowadays have kind of like a voice to text. You could try that out if you need to.
Ooh, yes.
Forensics division. You want to meet the girls?
So I'm just gonna
Sure.
warn you, I am very bad at science. I don't do science very well at all, actually.
Oh, don't worry. I honestly don't know if they do science either. I don't really go down to forensics. I'm a little, she kind of stares down at the floor. She's pale, but somehow she turns paler.
Forensics is
That's a
interesting.
talent.
Yeah, I'm sure Rebecca will be really happy to meet you guys. Come on. As you guys make your way down, the moment you guys turn the corner, the rave music just starts up immediately again, just from where it was paused.
Friggin' bass heads.
Why are they stuck in the 2000s? Ugh.
You guys make your way around another corner, and like Lucy said, it's not too far off from each other. Eventually, you make your way, and you see a set of doors. It's a double door. There's lots of signage outside, basically going through details and how to process what you've got and all that stuff. And as she kind of throws open the double doors, there's currently a very loud argument going on inside of this room immediately. And there's just yelling, and it's just well, who decided that though? Who saw a cow and thought, yeah, that's a good idea? And the other one goes, well, obviously they needed something to get iron and calcium, so they decided to go with a cow. And as you guys turn in, you see a big open space. There is currently 2 large stainless steel tables in the center of this room. And almost framing it all the way around is various different science equipment and analysis equipment and a chemical chamber and an eye wash station. And beyond that, you see a set of double doors, which is locked, which probably clearly is an evidence locker of some kind. As you enter in, you see currently looking through a microscope a tall human woman. She's about, I'm going to say 5'6". She's pretty tall. She's got long, kind of chestnutty auburn brown hair that kind of is pulled up into a very messy bun. She's got a set of glasses on and is wearing a long lab coat and a very nice blouse underneath as she's kind of leaning in. The other one who's currently engaged in an argument is she's got kind of a ginger hair, kind of a ginger sort of frazzled, almost mane of hair that runs down, kind of curly. And she also has a set of glasses. These are circular glasses, and they're rather large. She almost looks like she's trapped in the 80s. Similar lab coat that she's kind of wearing, and she's got a clipboard and apparently is holding multiple vials of blood in one hand.
Hey, Arcolf.
Yeah.
You know how to talk to gingers. Go talk to her.
The last woman you see, is a goth. She is...
Oh, God.
She is, green hair that fades into purple. like resting bitch face, wearing a lab coat, but there's like stitched patches on it, like all down the back. Piercing on the nose, piercing on the ears. She's wearing goggles currently, and she is currently looks like she's just going through some paperwork as they're kind of engaged in this conversation. It's very loud. They're not like fighting, but they're just like they're going back and forth. The goth is the shortest of all of them. She's quite short. I'd probably honestly say she's like 5'5", 5'4". And they're all human. All three of them are human. And you watch as the tallest human kind of turns and goes, "Oh, Lucy, nice to see you." And Lucy's like, "Oh, hi.
Lucy.
Hi, very nice to see you. New recruits. Ta-da!" And you watch as she kind of lowers her glasses and steps in front of you. And unlike everybody else, immediately goes for a handshake, just immediately, without any second thought.
Michael shake their hand.
Her skin is kind of rough, but she shakes your hand very gently. And she goes down the line, and she stops at you, Tanis. Surprisingly not Khel Zouren this time. And she kind of tilts her head and goes, ear length would suggest a wood elf.
You're right.
Larger eyes to help detect dark vision. And she kind of pulls a pen and, like, pulls your upper lip up. Yep, blunter teeth, wood elf, definitely. 100%. Don't worry, it's sanitary.
Hi.
Hello.
Viro Tanis. We're new here. Part of the Prince Division.
I am Rebecca Bell. I am the chief of the Forensics Division, so if you ever need...
Rebecca Bell.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too. You are... She turns to you, Khel Zouren.
I am Khel Zouren, at your service. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You are very healthy looking. She just kind of, like, pokes your belly a little bit.
I have been told that I am jolly. And he will
That's
pat
good.
his own belly.
Those two lovely ladies over there, and she points to the ginger. That's Stephanie Sanford, and then Jen Fisher. They're currently arguing over how milk was invented. That happens sometimes.
What were those names again?
Stephanie Sanford and Jen Fisher.
And they just work in forensics, and then Rebecca heads it?
Yeah, Rebecca's the head, and then those two are like the assistants, basically.
Got it.
They are so engaged in what they're talking about, they don't even notice you.
Mike's going to try to walk over to the ladies, the two of them.
And the goth just goes, "Okay, if someone sees a cow titty, why do they think I want that? That's super weird. Why would anybody want to do that?"
Well, actually, you're going to want to milk the titty, and then you pasteurize it, and then you ship it off. Like, we like the byproduct. We don't like the process. That's why they have people that are hired to do that nonsense.
They both slowly turn and look up at you.
Hey, hi, Michael Bryant. Nice to meet you.
The ginger turns over. "Stephanie," shakes your hand. She looks at your badge. "Oh, your new Prince Division. Good luck.
Yeah, we're getting the tour, so.
Hope you like paperwork."
No, I do not. Is there a lot of paperwork?
Lucy just starts coughing really, really aggressively.
Khel Zouren will check on her.
Okay.
Actually, can he roll
Great.
a medicine check? See if she's
Sure.
actually coughing.
Is she dying?
Natural 20.
She's fine. She's never been more fine. She's just like, she's mostly coughing towards Stephanie. It seems she's a little worried about losing anybody in the division right now.
Oh, it is a social thing, not a medical thing.
Oh,
Understood.
she kind of like puts her hand on your chest, like, "Shush, shush, shush." Oh God,
Sorry.
it's okay. Huh?
Hey, Dragonborn.
Yes.
Shh. Messing it up.
Oh, sorry.
So, anyway, ladies, yeah, that's, yeah, I agree. Milk is weird when it comes from the titty.
Right.
That's why I drink milk when it's been pasteurized.
What are we talking about?
Well, we were talking about how milk got invented. The ginger says.
Oh, well, I just assumed that it would be group of sort of humanoids, see a cow suckling from or a baby cow suckling from a mother cow. And
You watch as the
I'm noticing a pattern where you guys take everything like super literally.
You watch-
and it's
you watch as Stephanie turns down to Jen and goes, "See, I told you. That's what happened. Someone didn't just suck on a titty randomly. That's super weird and uncomfortable." And they just kind of go back to talking to each other. Rebecca Bell kind of walks up and goes, "Don't worry. They might be a bit gabby, but they get the job done. If you ever need anything looked at, well, bring it to us. And, fingerprints, blood stains, things like that. And, call in crime scenes, but you'll have to go through the front desk for that. So, yeah."
thank you.
Anytime.
Hopefully we don't have need to utilize your services, but it's good to know that they're available. Thank you for your work.
Anytime. All right, well, I have to finish these samples, so, Lucy, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm sorry. Thanks so much for visiting, though. It's really nice. Last officers never showed up until they needed us for something, so that's nice. Formality. She kind of turns around, and Lucy kind of clasps her head together. Well, I'll leave the rest of you guys, but in the meantime, let's head back and get started on some fun cooperative work, hey? Be a lot of fun. Yay!
It is paperwork, isn't it?
I mean, I'm having a good time. Those were fine ladies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm eager to get started.
The girls are great.
They are
All right.
great.
You guys make your way back to the office
Sort of
space.
looks over at Bryant.
What was that?
It just sort of looks over at Bryant and narrows his eyes just a little bit.
What? What? What are you squinting-eyeing me for?
It's just, they're coworkers. I don't think you should just be idly flirting with them. Especially
Whoa. I said they were fine and that they were great. That is a lot of insinuation. I feel like you're projecting a little bit.
I am not projecting anything except the need to fulfill my duty.
Yes. I was going to mention, projecting your voice might help a little bit. It's kind of hard. It sounds like you're, whispering in my ear, and it's really creepy.
Oh, if you need to use the bathroom, it's down the hall, Tanis.
What?
Monty, I love you!
You said you had to do your duty. Oh.
Yeah, my duty to.
Oh,
the
boy.
city,
All three of you with
Rampoon
the
City.
literal again. Here we go.
Sorry, I misunderstood that. I'm going to turn around and keep walking. And she just starts walking at a very quickened pace.
I love her! Can we keep her?
I mean, she's your coworker, so yeah. You guys make your way back to the Prince Division and make your way inside, where you were greeted by that perfect pile of paperwork right there for you.
Khel Zouren
So I
is
have a
going to
question.
attack it with gusto.
Wait, what? Could you... Oh, he's that guy, isn't he?
If you set something in front of me that needs to be done, I will do it, and so will Khel.
Yep, you're that guy. Love it. Mike is gonna... Is there anybody else in this office? Literally anybody
It
else?
is you guys and Lucy, and then 2 empty desks. One who apparently is the 4th recruit, who you haven't met, and then your chief's desk, which is unoccupied for obvious reasons.
So, Lucy,
Oh, yeah? She looks up from her paperwork.
is there literally anything else that we could see? Any place else that we could go that isn't here with paperwork?
It's only been 10 minutes.
So paperwork then.
Well, actually, hold on. There might be... Give me 1 second. You watch as she actually goes into a file cabinet and starts rifling through. We did receive a call a week ago. If you want to take a case right away.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We received a call from a mother. Actually, I almost completely forgot. Oh my goodness. Do you even know what you're here for? I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's 1034, woman and child in danger, right?
well, I mean more in general in the Prince Division specifically. Specific divisions obviously have specific intentions, and as much as we love paperwork, right, Khel Zouren?
Yes.
As much as we love paperwork, we do actually have another purpose in the city. Maybe I should explain that to you, because I feel like Tyler probably didn't.
He did not. He had us fight his friends?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's the care and protection of princes and princesses.
Yes. Not to be confused with the book Prince and Princess, those classic human tales. You...
Why are the dragons always the bad guys in those?
Right? Well, generally, princes and princesses have existed throughout history. Recently now, with the development of proper medical science, we've discovered what really makes a prince and a princess normal than just a normal human. Only humans can be princes and princesses. Basically, princes and princesses are like batteries. Oh, that's very dehumanizing, but it's the best example I have. Think of it like... Here, you watch as she reaches over and she grabs a mug, and she brings it over to the chief's desk and kind of gathers you guys around. Basically, humans, and she kind of looks at you, Officer Bryant, humans have magic in them, usually. Sometimes humans are born without magic, and other times they're born with too much. When they're born with too much, that makes them a prince or a princess. Basically, the average human, well, they would, and she kind of unbottles a bottle of water and starts filling up the mug. Usually once their magic is filled, it's capped, it ends. But a prince and princess, and she just keeps pouring the water in, it overflows over the rim of the mug. They have so much, and oh goodness, and she realizes what she's done and immediately begins to clean up the desk. Basically, I need paper towel. 1 second. She grabs paper towel and starts mopping up.
Oh boy.
Basically, they keep excluding or exuding magical powers. Don't be mistaken for a wizard or a sorcerer. Their power can cap. A prince and princess emanate a power, almost like a radiator would emanate heat. In that sense, certain creatures and mythical beasts, if they stay within the presence of a prince or princess, can grow very strong over time. A creature that's been exposed to a prince or prince in close proximity, well, they can get frighteningly strong. And that's where we come in. We prevent this disbalance between different mythical creatures and ensure that balance is kept in the city by essentially preventing princes and princesses from, being kidnapped or killed or, anything else that's horrible.
How do you identify one of these princes or princesses?
Oh, we have...
I was about to ask.
We actually have she kind of reaches around for her belt and kind of does a spin, like she's trying to grab something. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, my drawer. And she watches, she disappears and eventually pulls out a small device. It looks like a taser at first. But notably it's longer and has a screen on it. It almost looks like a price checker from a grocery store, and they have the little screen and they're checking prices. She brings it over. This is essentially what would be considered an AC or an aura checker, but we use it to basically track prince and princesses. It's a genetic thing, so it picks up on the genealogy, the magic influx, that sort of thing. I'm sure if you took it down to Officer Dibble, he could give you more information, but generally speaking, you point this at someone. If it beeps, they're a prince or a princess. If it don't, then they're not. It's
Could
pretty...
you point that at Officer Bryant as a test?
Sure. You watch as...
Look, we don't need to be... I don't really think that that's necessary.
She turns it towards you and points it towards you.
Yeah, okay.
And it just goes... makes a low tone. Nope, you're clear. Just a normal human.
Yeah. Totally knew that.
But other than that, there's no identifiable features that are unique to princes or princesses.
Not visually, no. And the condition itself isn't something similar to how humans, when they reach puberty, they get magic. At least most humans do. Princes and princesses can grow normally, but it's almost like a switch turns on and they just suddenly have it. Sometimes they have it at birth, other times they don't get it till they're really old. It's rather eclectic and random. Doctors can diagnose it, though, so generally speaking, if you suspect someone is a prince or princess, we add them to the registry. And she disappears and turns around and pulls a giant file folder out and slams it on the chief's desk and pulls it open. And this is our registry. These are all princes and princesses that we've added from the city. There's a few of them, not a ton. And these are the ones that we know of. They range from, ages... I think our youngest is 1-year-old, and I think our oldest is 73. So Yeah.
It can develop at only 1 year?
Yep.
That is so terrible. To have such a fate thrusted upon you in such a way.
Yes, it's very difficult. But our goal is to ensure that, beasts leave these people alone and that people who are known to be prince and princesses, we have at least some tab on them. So if they do go missing, we know that they were a prince or princess.
Speaking of...
I'm assuming it's a very big deal when a prince or a princess goes missing.
It is. It's probably the most, the only thing worse is when they're killed, but that doesn't happen too often. Usually it's kidnappings. Kidnapping, stalking.
Why would someone kill a prince or a princess?
I mean, you're working in a police station. You don't know about the illegal blood trade? I mean, Officer Bryant, you have to know because you're human, right?
What?
Yeah, well, yeah, but like, why would we even bring that up?
I just, there's blood trade in some of the districts. It's very illegal, and
yeah, it's awful, is what it is.
Blood that has a lot of magic in it is worth more. Blood that has no magic in it, human blood without any magic in it, is worth even more than that. It's pretty insane. But, I'd rather not think about it. I'm feeling faint again. You watch as she kind of sways and standing up a little bit.
I'll go over and keep her steady.
Oh.
Since princes and princesses are so very important, why is the one division dedicated to it? Devoid of officers? Aside from us?
Well, we're a privately funded division. So, basically, certain wards fund us, whereas other wards don't like us a whole lot. But that's okay, right? I mean, right?
You cannot please
Who specifically funds our division?
Oh, well, the Heavens Ward, certainly. I mean, we're in the Heavens Ward. And also, probably the biggest contributor would be the Dragon's Ward, for sure.
So wait a second. So the Dragon Ward gives the most money, yet you haven't seen a Dragonborn around here for 20 years?
Well, I mean, not in the Force. They usually find, no offense, our Officer Zouren, usually they have, high-standing jobs in economics that pay better. But generally, dragons tend to stick in the dragon district for the most part. And if they deviate, then they're not afraid to throw their weight, so to speak.
Most are not very altruistic.
Sure, let's use that word. So, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Yeah, what's in that case file?
Which file?
The case file you mentioned?
Oh, this is just the registry.
No, you mentioned.
Oh, no,
a
I meant
call
that
from
other
my
case you
mother.
mentioned.
That was
Oh,
a week
yes, the
ago.
case. She trips over herself, almost punches you in the face, Tanis, as she, stumbles back to her desk.
I'll just gently deflect her fist. Easy.
She runs over and knocks over a pile of paperwork, and she's like, "No!" And she grabs it all and shoves it back on the desk.
Oh, boy. She's like a cartoon character.
Okay, there was a call from. Oh yes. Okay. Yep. Oh,
Paperwork is very serious business, Officer Bryant.
is incredibly serious.
Clearly.
Caroline Jorsch. I got a call from Caroline Jorsch.
You're going to have to spell that last name for me.
Jorsh.
And so I don't know how much TV Lucy watches, but as soon as Bryant says this, she'll know this is just a terrible ripoff from the TV shows that are all over the place.
And what was the nature of the disturbance?
Caroline's son, Samuel, he is Prince. He has Prince. Apparently, she said there's been some disturbances outside of their apartment window. She seemed very frightened, to say the least, but I had no one to really send out there, so I just told her, keep calm and maybe invest in a security camera, which maybe I'll give you 1 sec. I'm just gonna, you know what, read the case file. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna run and talk to, actually, no, you guys are new. Hold on. God, I wish the chief was here.
Hey, Lucy.
Yes.
Breathe. And exhale. All right, now what are we doing?
Someone should go to the tech division and pick up a security camera.
Okay.
And then we can take that to Caroline Jorsch. at the very least, and just do a little home visit and see what's going on. How about that?
Was that Dibbit? Officer Dibbit?
Dibbled.
Dibble. Yeah, Officer Asshole. Yeah, I got him.
Okay, be nice, please.
Oh, no, I like him.
Okay. Meanwhile,
I'll just be picking up all the papers that she knocked over.
meanwhile, she hands you the folder, Khel Zouren. Maybe just do a little bit of reading up on that. I haven't updated it, so there might be some missing details, but yeah. Oh gosh, there's so many things. She starts like pacing around and like goes back to sit down at her desk. Oh, thank you so much, Officer Tanis. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Bryant, no problem. You get a security camera. It's very easy. You just have to sign some paperwork for it and basically say that you're borrowing it. Bring it back. The details of it is Samuel George is 2 years old, or at least was registered when he was 2 years old. He's now, I believe, 5 years old now. 4 or 5. He's been living with his mother, single mom, in an apartment. Specifically, they live in the Heavens Ward as well. But they live kind of... if you think of like upper class to like lower class, they're kind of in like the lower class section of the Heavens Ward that neighbors on the Fey Ward.
Okay. I assume there's some kind of address that tells us where in the Heavens.
Oh yeah, there's an address in the file for
Okay.
it.
Okay, perfect. Perfectamundo.
That just leaves one more thing I need to give you. Very important. We never went to the basement.
What's in the basement?
Oh, you'll see. Come on.
Oh boy, ominous.
She leads you down the elevator, which was on the main floor, and eventually you guys exit out into a parkade. It's a Canadian word. I'm going to say it. A parkade, which is an underground parking lot, which is called a parkade.
Oh, don't you know we're going to the parkade there?
Shut up! Don't make fun of me. It's a real word.
Sure. Okay. Yeah,
I want to
you're
play
right.
some
I'm
pinball.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
As you guys enter the parkade, you see rows upon rows of police cruisers.
I'm sorry.
What do they look like?
Police cars. They look like standard fare police cars. There's a lot of them. They're each numbered.
Mike's gonna go check them out.
They are not like sports cars. There's some that are apparently look like fancier. There's like some like heavier duty like van style vehicles. Generally, most of them are like pretty standard fare, like something you'd see on TV, essentially. Our car number is 57.
Are they like SUVs?
They're not like some of them are, but the majority of them are like police cars, like cars. I am not a car person, so I don't even know what the model would be, but they're cars.
Okay. Well, also, this is not like the real world, so I'm sure they're not actual name brands.
Yeah, they're like some invented gnome company of some kind. As you guys make your way
Innovation
to
knockback 97 model.
Invasion knockback. You guys make your way over to a police car, which is marked on the side as 57. And Lucy hands you the keys. Who wants to drive?
Me?
Okay, there you go, Officer Bryant.
Thanks.
Inside is a radio.
These things are pulling 280 horsepower. Good grief.
I mean, they're top of the line. Best to stop crime. And there are some creatures that fly faster than the cars sometimes, so.
Does the car look like it'll fit Khel comfortably?
Oh yeah, it'll fit all
wide
you
as
guys
he is?
pretty comfortably. In the back seat, it's a little cramped, but all right. There's a radio inside. Now the radio will go off at times, so you may have to answer some radio calls even when you're on duty. Just be aware. Basically, our section is the cars will be called in if that happens. Just back up. Understood?
Copy that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're getting it. All right. Well, best of luck. And here, let me give you my... And she pulls out a cell phone. This is my cell phone number in case you ever want to message me or call me or text me. Obviously, don't give this out. Especially not to Tyler, please.
Insight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 16?
She doesn't want Tyler to have her number in any capacity based off
Is that
of his...
because, like, I'm ashamed of him, I don't want him to know where he can find me constantly, or I have a crush on him, don't tell him?
I mean, with that, you don't know, but it seems
Okay.
more like I don't want him to have my number. Like,
Okay, fair enough.
For any reason at all. Okay. Well, good luck. Have fun. Don't die. It should be fine. It's gonna be fine.
You're really bad at this, but I appreciate it.
I'm trying my best.
You're doing fine.
So,
Great.
we should go right now, yes? Deliver the camera?
Absolutely, yes. Oh, and just make sure whenever you're going to a location, show your badge first, okay?
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah. Where'd I put the... Oh, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right, bye. Have
I
fun.
hope you have a very wonderful day. Try not to get paper
Take
cuts.
it easy. Remember,
They
hey,
sting.
remember what we talked about. Breathe. And exhale. Atta girl.
It's refreshing, really.
Yup.
This nice exhaust air. It's great for my head. All right, paperwork. Woo! And she kind of like lifts up an arm triumphantly and turns around and heads back to the elevator.
As soon as she's out of sight, Mike's jumping in the front seat, and he's going to adjust the what not cameras, the lenses, the rearview mirror. He's going to make sure all the mirrors are good. He's going to start very meticulously sliding left and right, and then looking to the passenger side, sliding left and right as you two are getting in the car.
Yeah, he's just getting in the opposite end of the front seat.
Khel Zouren will take the back seat.
And as he adjusts the rearview mirror, he's going to pull out of the parking spot. He's going to look into it, and he's going to say,
Gentlemen, it's prime time, crime time.
and he's going to punch it.
Roll a driving check
we're
for
cops.
me.
What the hell's a driving check?
That's
Vehicle
gonna
check.
be that's gonna be probably just a straight up wisdom check, actually.
Oh, that's not the thing I wanted in. Oh, okay.
Should have let the dragon drive.
Just a wisdom 13.
Yeah, you're fine. You drive out of
Okay.
there really well.
Glad I know that's a wisdom check. That's good to know.
The wheels screech a little bit, but it's not that bad as you guys make your way out to the out of the parkade into the city streets. And the moment you guys are out, you are driving. So you may talk amongst yourself if you wish to. As
Be
you guys are
mindful of the
driving.
traffic lights.
I mean, I'll stop at all the ones that are red, but if they're yellow, I'm punching it.
He'll put his headphones back on, but leave like one ear off so he can still hear what's happening.
So, didn't get to say it before, but it is very nice to meet you both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a pleasure.
Great to meet you. And he'll extend a hand back towards Zouren and shake it.
Khel will shake it. You will note, he's cold. Very cold.
All right, probably expected that. Great. I guess we're gonna be working together a lot then.
With any luck, yes. Officer Bryant, Officer
Vincent.
Tanis. It will be good.
You can call me Viro.
Yeah, you can call me Mike or Michael or idiot or, pretty much anything I was called in high school.
I would never call you an idiot, unless you deserved it.
Ah!
Think
I appreciate that.
I'll stick with Mike.
Yeah, that also works. By the way, Viro, right?
Viro.
Right, yeah, Viro. Okay, so have you ever heard of alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay. You should maybe invest.
Why? I'm not sure I follow. Are you saying that I need to relax?
Yeah. Yep. And alcohol in copious amounts will do that for you.
All
I'm perfectly calm. I had my tea this morning.
things in moderation. Too much alcohol is very bad for you.
No, I agree with that. I'm sure we'll probably have one of those cases, but just so you know, you should definitely invest.
I'm
You should-
I'm perfectly relaxed. I don't need alcohol to have a
Oh,
good time.
believe me,
And
you're like, I thought you were on something else.
I partake. No, I partake in it every once in a while. Just do I seem on edge to you, or because
No, it's quite, it's the opposite of what you were saying. You're really, damn, man, it's like
He is very chill.
monotone. That's the
I'm
word
just-
I'm looking like. It's all right here.
I'm just trying to be approachable?
Oh, boy. So, Cal, cool?
I'm bad with names, man. Khel?
I believe before you called me Dragon Man, that will suffice.
All right, Dragon Man. So, look, just so you know, in human customs, when one human approaches another human that they really like, and they start making jokes and laughing, it's called flirting, which I wasn't doing, but if I was, interrupting with medical science is really a mood breaker.
I was just checking on Officer Burroughs. She was coughing rather violently.
I don't think she was coughing because she was sick, man.
No, it was a social thing.
I think she was just clearing her throat to clear
Oh,
the air.
Pretty much.
I do not think it was clearing the air so much. It was a social thing, implying she was uncomfortable.
Yeah, to a degree, yes. Yes, and I would.
Just sort of side eyes Officer
Okay,
Bryant
look,
at that.
don't.
Just like, this
You
guy.
know, look, I picked up on it, but I was busy with him. Anyway, where are we going again?
Who is going to be the navigator for this?
Depends on the check.
I know the streets. I know the streets probably a bit better than some of these guys. I don't know your backstories, but
Ice cream truck
just
driver.
saying.
Yeah, what do you mean these streets?
Roll
We're going to.
a survival check to navigate the streets.
Oh,
Okay.
good. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Let's see here. Survival check is going to be a 7.
You guys get horribly lost.
Son of a... Dude, what are you making... where are we?
May I roll a survival check?
Yeah.
I think after you said I left at Albuquerque, you were lost.
I think you might be right. This is my bad. I apologize.
Dragon Man, do you know where we're going?
I'm going to pull up my GPS. Hang on.
Nope, no idea where we are. I would never
7.
drove here.
Make sure to call out your rolls as well.
7.
You guys are lost. You are in at least there are people around if you want to ask for directions.
All right. Mike is going to stop at a stoplight, and he's going to
Okay.
look around and roll down the window. All right, which one of you guys are charming? Never mind, that's going to be me. Okay, rolling down the window.
All right.
Khel Zouren's going to place a hand on Officer Bryant and cast guidance.
Okay. You touch one willing creature until the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. You can roll the die before or after making the ability check. As you look out the window, you currently see a bunch of teens kind of like walking down the street talking to each
Oh,
other.
good luck.
One is there's a human, there is an elf, and there is also what appears to be like they look human, but
Okay.
their eyes are kind of like glowing a little bit and their hair is glowing a little bit too.
Shit, they're Saiyans.
Sure.
Do any of them have like distinct paraphernalia that they're wearing, whether that be iconography for, I don't know, say a sports team or a video game or
Not really, actually. They don't.
crap. So there's nothing to start a conversation with. Great.
Yeah.
One of them has glowing hair, so
Yeah. It's kind of got this sort of like divine glow to it.
just don't call them light bulb.
I'm going to call them Utes. Here we go. This will be great. Hey, excuse me.
The watches all three of their heads turn.
Oh, you did that in unison. Okay, that was hey, question for you guys. We're trying to get to what's the address again?
It's called Century Apartments is where you're trying to get to.
Trying to get to the Century Apartments. You guys know where that is?
Roll a persuasion check with your guidance.
I believe in you.
22 without the guidance.
The glowing hair boy, he is a boy, walks up to the car and he kind of looks, he goes, you gotta go up 5 blocks and then off
Yep.
to the right, there's a bunch of apartment buildings up there.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
You
watch
can
as
stay
he,
out of trouble.
as he walks to his friend group, the human goes, fuck the police! And they all just take off running. And they all
That
start
wasn't
laughing.
even a good album.
I'll roll down the window and I'll say that was rude. You should apologize next time we see you.
They're gone.
Have a good day.
They are pushing each other. Like the 2 other kids are like hitting the human. Like, how could you fucking say that for the cops? Like they're all like goofing. They're teenagers. They're goofing off.
I thought for humans that was a step 4
Step 4.
in the mating thing. Step 4.
Oh, I think he's using the word fuck as like a no. Those guys are like, oh, you know those cops.
Are we having this guy? I am driving.
Okay, you take off driving. Eventually,
I'm putting this address in my GPS, by the way, so we never get lost again.
okay.
Do they have
We have cell
GPS?
phones. Why didn't we do that?
You do have GPS, but
We have
it
phones.
won't always help you. GPS will not always help you in these circumstances.
Well, just so we don't get lost going to this particular house again, in case we have
Okay.
to.
Yeah, you make your way, and eventually you see a very run-down sign that says Century Apartments. They appear to be like floor-level units, kind of almost like in a weird kind of like circle shape with like almost like a motel, but they're like individual apartments. Notably, there is off to one side, there is like a 3-level apartment complex, which appears to have been like a renovation or an expansion to that one, and it looks very ugly. It's very horrible. So it's like a weird kind of like hook building with like 2 extra floors on one side, but not on the other. It's very crammed up against a multitude of other old apartment buildings made out of like, stained brick and just general old construction here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna park the car.
All right, roll another vehicle check for me.
Oh Jesus. God, it's straight wisdom, right?
Yeah, straight wisdom.
18. How the hell?
Easy enough. You'd park without
Okay.
any problem.
I'm a parallel park like a G.
You don't need to here. You're fine. You could just drive into a parking spot.
Why did I need to not crash into the cars next to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm so
Uh,
bad at driving. I need a driving check just to fucking park in a spot.
As you guys exit out of the vehicle, you notice that there's like some people watching you from like the taller apartment building side, just kind of staring down, smoking like cigarettes. You notice like a half-orc kind of looking down towards you guys, and the moment you kind of look up and see him, he kind of turns around and goes back into the building.
Khel Zouren will wave.
Mike's gonna walk towards the front door of the complex.
All right. There's no one, like, there's no secretariat in the complex. It shows like a directory, and that's about it.
I am gonna look for what the fuck was the last name? Hang on.
It is Caroline George.
George. Yeah, I'm gonna look for George in the directory.
All right, roll an investigation check for me.
Oh dear. This is bad.
All of you may do this as well, since you guys are all
Okay, yeah,
here.
somebody else, please. Mike is not even gonna notice the damn keypad.
Investigación.
Now,
8.
it says when you touch a willing creature. Can that be myself?
Yep. Wait, no.
Guidance then.
No, you can't
No,
do
it
it
can't be yourself for guidance.
Oh.
It has to be another.
Well, then he's
creature.
going to go ahead and cast guidance on Michael Bryant.
It's too late. He made the
Just
roll.
Too late.
The
I
thing-
already made the roll, but I'll use it for
For the
next time.
Yeah, for next time. If you want to guide something, you have to do it before they roll.
Oh
Fine.
God! Wait a second. We're cops with no investigation.
Yeah, I pointed this out to you when you guys were making your character sheets. I'm like, no one has investigation, and you guys are police officers. This is going to be great.
Yep. We're new cops, though. Maybe
Yeah.
if we do a good job, you'll let one of us have it as a proficiency.
As you guys are all looking around at this building, you notice one thing that's like weirdly out of place. There is like a low dining table, like a low coffee table that appears to have been shattered. It looks like it was a glass one, and just it's broken and is kind of being leaned up against like one part of the hallway, probably near where the garbage disposal is, and it just really stands out to you. So much so that you don't notice anything else. Just all immediately gravitate towards this broken coffee table.
Oh.
You think the killer broke this?
I do not hope the
Killer. I don't think we're...
Right, yeah. No, sorry, wrong episode. Yeah, how the heck do we get in here?
Is there anybody around?
No.
Great! I'm gonna knock on the
Zero.
door. The front of the complex's door. Just sorry.
Well, you guys are inside of it. You guys
Oh,
are
are we?
inside. Yeah, that's where the coffee table is. I'm assuming you guys entered the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a staircase that goes up, but there's also like a hallway that leads down, which appears to be apartment rooms or buildings. Like,
Did their
living
case file
spaces.
have what the apartment number was on the address?
Nope,
Oh, so they have an
Oh.
address, just no apartment number.
no apartment number. Yeah, it looks like
the
based
case
on the
file said they were. Sorry.
case file, it just says that she's been communicating through the phone.
And notably, there were disturbances outside the window. I can assume ground floor unless there are fire escapes.
or unless the disturbances were
Yeah, but
flying.
we also don't have an apartment number.
Excuse me, Rampoon City Police, Prince Division.
You're just yelling that out.
We're here about a disturbance.
Just yelling
Yeah.
out loud.
Yep.
Roll a persuasion check, I guess.
Cool. 7 minus 1.
God.
You yell out in the hallway, and nothing happens.
Well, I gave it my all.
Is there really no directory of names?
There is. You guys just failed your investigation to find the name.
Oh, God.
Well,
I'm going to go back over there, and I'm just going to look through it again. I'm going to go to the J's.
You have guidance.
And I'm going to
Okay.
push. I'm going to push it one at a time. Here
All
we
right.
go. Oh, get out of here. Give
Oh
me a
my
4.
God.
Hold on. D4. Thank you. 7, 8,
Hey.
9, 10, 11.
It takes like 20 minutes.
This is abysmal.
You guys are the worst cops ever. Why didn't anybody take fucking intelligence? Anyway, it takes
is a dumb stat.
between 3 of you, it takes 20 minutes to eventually find the name George on the directory.
Don't remember, Monty, we can build whatever we want. It won't matter. You'll work with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're gonna succeed, but
Great. We're going to go to the
so
apartment when we find it.
all right, you guys. It is on the 2nd floor, and it's room 8.
Got it. All right. We're going to that.
All right, you guys head upstairs. The carpet is like this really disgusting olive green color, and the walls are like wallpapered this like tan brown color. It's just horrid. As you guys make your way up to the 2nd floor, there are rooms on either side. And as you guys make your way down the hallway, eventually you do find, I will make you roll investigation for it, you do find room number 8.
Thanks. I appreciate you. All right. And then I'm going to walk up to the door, and like I always do,
There's a moment of pause, and you hear like a kid's voice briefly.
okay,
And then you hear like the sounds of locks being undone. And the door creaks open. And you see a woman with like kind of scraggled like black hair. She looks fairly young, like maybe late 20s. You know, very fair face, looks very tired and haggard. The moment she sees the 3 of you and like looks up to the 3 of you, that door is slammed shut and all the locks are going back in place immediately. Like she sees you
excuse me.
and slams the door shut and immediately.
Ma'am, we're with the Prince Division. I'll whip out my badge and I'll hold it up to any sort of eye
There's
hole.
an eye hole, yeah. You hold it up.
All right, I'll hold it up.
Eventually you hear the locks undone. And she slowly opens the door and peeks out. She's wearing like a t-shirt and like jeans. She looks very tired though. Like big marks under the eyes. Just generally looks very haggard. I've been calling for days.
There's been some unfortunate tidings in the Prince Division, but we were finally able to send some people down here. You were some disturbances outside of your window. You're calling about?
Yes, come in. You watch as she holds open the door. The moment she pulls open the full door, Zouren, you're the first to notice this. Her leg is bandaged up from like the ankle up to almost slightly below the knee, like really tightly wrapped. As she kind of lets you guys in. It's a nice apartment, actually. It's definitely well lived in. The kitchen's a bit of a mess. The living room has a TV and kind of a floor space with a rug, and there's a ton of toys everywhere, just like scattered about in the house. And there's lots of like kids' drawings tacked up on the walls as well. And
oh, go ahead.
she seems very nervous. Like, very jumpy and very nervous.
Is the kid playing with any of the toys, or is he kind of hanging out with his mom? Or
You don't see the kid. He's not in the room. You get the sense that she probably put him somewhere just because she didn't know who you were. So.
Forgive the impropriety, madam, but might I ask what happened to your leg? Are you in need of healing?
I'm fine. I tripped over my coffee table and broke it. It was glass.
Oh, we saw that, yes.
Yeah. Let me.
Are you certain you do not need healing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you, sir. She kind of looks at you very like, what the fuck? Like very unsure of you. I'll grab my son. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Samuel.
We'll wait out here.
Samuel. And she kind of disappears down the hallway, and you hear the door open, and Samuel, and scampering down the hallway comes a really young kid, who looks like this.
He's got Triceratops. Aw. Triceratops for the Triceracop. That's adorable.
I get that reference.
As he like kind of comes out with like this childish energy, he like gets to the living room and sees all three of you, and like he kind of sticks fingers in his mouth for a second and looks up at Officer Bryant and then looks at you, Tanis. The moment he sees Zouren, he starts bawling, like crying, and like runs to his mom, just crying full volume. And she's like, "Oh no, it's okay, it's okay,
it is
honey.
okay.
Oh, it's okay." And he's just like, "Ah!" Like wailing, like totally wailing.
I am so sorry.
Miss George, maybe I could.
It's okay, it's okay, it's
maybe
okay.
I can look
honey.
after him. You can talk with the officers.
She really clenches her kid. I don't.
How about I step outside and stand guard while you speak? Because my face is not very kid-friendly.
Honey, Samuel, it's a dinosaur. Look, honey, it's a dinosaur. She kind of bounces him in her arms. Look, T-Rex, right? T-Rex. And she kind of looks towards you, Zouren, like, come on, help me out here.
Zouren will buckle in his arms, make it look like he has tinky tiny ones, and go, "Roar!"
Look, T-Rex, hey, T-Rex. And he just kind of like, see, T-Rex? And she kind of takes his toy and squeezes.
Khel Zouren will turn around and wiggle its tail.
Look, the T-Rex has a tail, honey, look. Oh, he's a cool T-Rex, isn't he, huh? He's got white. He's a white T-Rex, huh?
This kid looks like he's about 5,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
Why don't you go say hi to the T-Rex? You want to say hi? And she puts him down, and he just immediately goes behind her legs and just holds onto her legs and just kind of is clutching his toy and staring at the three of you.
Khel Zouren will kneel down and say, "It is all right. I know as a T-Rex, I'm very scary."
He, like, hides his face, like, just behind his mom.
You're doing great.
Roll it.
But I see you have a Triceratops with you. They are actually good friends of mine. Good times.
Roll a persuasion check.
Good luck.
Oh, with 0 charisma, this is good.
I was gonna say good luck.
That is a 7.
Okay. He runs.
I'm gonna refresh roll 20.
Yeah, everyone's been getting 7s. That seems to be the number of the night.
Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. He goes sampling off back from where he came, and his mom just kind of looks and goes, "He's shy. Would you like something?"
It is not exactly shyness. I know my face is terrifying.
He's young. I'm really sorry. He's really young.
You do not need to apologize. It is simply life.
Would you like something to drink? I have orange juice and tea, water.
I could go for some tea.
Okay.
Some water would be lovely.
You, sir?
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Okay. She walks over and she flicks on a kettle. There's been something outside of our window on the fire escape. It's not every night.
So it was a fire escape.
But it's been once this week. Since the last call, I just kind of stopped calling since no one was coming, so
Tanis will walk out and he'll sort of go to the window and sort of motion towards opening. It's like, do you mind?
Yeah, just, you want to snap up the lock and it'll open.
Can I roll an investigation check on the window?
Sure, absolutely.
Cool. Let's see if that works. 18.
18. As you go out, the both of you, it is locked. It hasn't. It does not look like the patio door has been tampered with at all. It is completely unscathed.
It doesn't look like there's any signs of forced entry. Ma'am, you said there was something outside the window?
Yes.
Could you describe it for us?
It was a man. I think. I don't know. It was horrid, whatever it was.
Was it floating? Was it flying? Was it standing on the windowsill?
God, I think it was standing, but it was short.
Is there a fire escape out there that he would have been standing on?
There's a staircase that leads all the way down to ground level, yeah.
Okay.
Is there any tracks or markings or anything on the fire escape?
It is like steel, like it's like an iron kind of metal fire escape. You can roll an investigation of your own if you want to try and see if there's anything there.
Let's find out. Not looking good. 4.
4. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Hey, Monty.
Yeah.
While we're here, I would like to ritual cast Detect Magic and see if I detect anything unusual out there.
Okay. Detect magic.
I got you, Connor. The roles have flipped.
Me fight man. You magic man.
You do find something on the fire escape.
Okay.
It's a residue of some kind. It's powdery in nature.
Okay.
Is it powder?
You don't see it.
So it's like an arcane
Tanis.
residue.
It feels arcane, yeah. Tanis, you don't see it, but Officer Bryant, you do
Just
see
looking
it.
from side to side, just like,
Is it something that I can pick up in my hand, or like, better yet, do we have any like evidence collection bags and tweezers or anything like that?
Yes, you are provided in the car. You get like evidence bags. You can easily place that into an
Awesome.
an
Yeah.
evidence
So the
bag.
first thing I'm gonna do is put on gloves. Second thing I'm gonna do is try to grab this thing and put it in a bag. And then the third thing I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna hold it up to both of them to see if they even can see it.
Right. As you put it in the bag, it actually fades through the bag.
Ooh, I'm gonna catch it.
All right, you catch it with your hand.
All right, this is very strange. There's,
Actually, officers, could you come take a look at this, please? He's
yeah.
gonna hold out his hand for both of you to look at.
Sort of pull down his aviators and look at it.
You don't see anything in his hand. There's nothing there.
I hate to tell you this, Chief, but you don't got anything in your hands.
What about you, Dragon Guy?
I'm assuming I see nothing as well.
Yeah, you see nothing.
There is nothing but open air.
right. Well, there's definitely something arcane out here. There's some kind of residue. Apparently, I'm the only one that can see it, though.
Did you put it in the bag? We can take it back to forensics.
That would be a good idea. The problem is I can't put this into anything. As soon as I put it in a bag, it falls through. How it's sitting on the ledge, I have no idea.
Does this sound like anything we've heard about in the past?
For you guys? Nah, probably not.
I agree, though. We should get it looked at. Ma'am, you
How
said
are we
that
gonna-
you
wait a
said that
minute.
oh, go ahead.
So it fell through the bag, but it's not falling through your gloves?
It's not falling through my hand.
Did it fall? So it did fall through your gloves.
Actually, Monty, that's a good question. Can I feel it on my skin, or is it still on the glove?
You feel it on your skin, yeah.
It's through the glove.
Try wiping some on your jacket.
I'm going to attempt to do that with the other hand. I'm going to even see if I can scoop it on the hand.
Well, how much does he have?
I would say probably like a teaspoon.
Oh, then I'm not going to do that because I don't want to.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was like a glob
It's like
or something.
it's like a little bit. Like it is a sprinkle of salt. It's very whatever this is. It's very. There's not a lot of it, but it is
Okay.
prominent. You're able to see it quite well.
Then I am going to
How are we
hold
gonna
on to
get
that
this
with my
back?
hand.
I think we should
Okay.
absolutely get this back to the lab as soon as we can.
I'm thinking that wouldn't work. All right, so if you've got it in your hand, you just gotta
Not let
remember, don't, yeah.
Ma'am,
This man you saw.
ma'am, you said you saw somebody out here. Is it every night that you see them, or was it just once or twice?
It started maybe about a month ago,
Okay.
and I think it's been 4 times now.
And when was the last time?
Probably about 4 days ago.
Got it.
At night, I heard a noise, and I looked outside the patio window, and there was a face, and this horrible sound, and she kind of touches her leg.
Did it attack
Please,
That
ma'am,
is-
it's gonna be all right. We'll take care of this. Just
Don't want anything bad to happen to Samuel. He's such a good boy.
I know, ma'am. I've got a little one myself. And trust me, we'll look into this. Gonna be
Does
okay.
the man leave immediately each time, or does he linger?
I usually, the time I saw him, even before oh, my sheets were a mess. I stayed with Samuel. I didn't want to leave him by himself. I couldn't do that.
Hey, Monty, do we have cards with like a number that will be like a direct access
Yeah.
to our desk?
You do have access to the Prince Division, like, desk cards, yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming we all have those because we would take them, obviously. Yeah. I'm going to walk over to her, and I'm going to hand her a card.
If he shows up again, I want you to give us a call.
Okay.
Right.
And this time
This
you'll
is-
come, right? I don't want to be a jerk, but I really need help.
I understand. Listen, there's been a lot of shakeup at the precinct, but we're on this case, specifically us. So we got this.
Okay.
All right? So you're going to take this. Here you go.
Thank you.
You mentioned a noise, ma'am.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was like a howl or a scream,
Okay.
low and powerful, and
And it was loud.
very loud. My neighbors heard it. They did hear it.
Have they also reported creatures or beings outside of their windows?
No one else has seen anything. It's just been me.
Now, it should be noted that we did not come here empty-handed. We are not going to leave you with just a card and leave. We have brought a security camera
We have. We'd like
to
to
help
set
keep
up
watch
with
of
your
your
permission.
property.
Of course. Yeah, of course. She kind of just steps away from the patio. As you guys are setting up the camera, anyone who would like to has to make an Arcana check, because Arcana is technology in this world. So any tech,
Whoever does it, guidance.
Thank you.
you can also
Not me.
Someone can also give advantage to the other if you want to assist and have someone roll.
Yeah,
an
why don't you
advantage.
assist?
Well,
I'm proficient in it, but I'm not great at it.
Okay. You're better than I am.
Okay, we're going to find out. 10 plus, hang on. Plus
It's 1d4.
14.
Hey!
Yeah, with assistance, the three of you guys kind of set up the camera in a way that won't be visible to anyone outside the window. As you guys are doing this, Zouren, you feel someone yank on your tail.
Ooh.
You turn around,
Hello?
you see Samuel, and he's currently got like a book. And he walks up to you and goes,
This is for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
and
What is
he
it?
puts a sticker on your uniform, like on the pant leg.
What does the sticker look like?
It's an Ankylosaurus.
Oh, that is my favorite. I have a friend like this. His name is Tim.
I like it.
Thank you very much, Samuel.
He turns around and just goes to sit down on the floor.
I'll swivel my head. Has he seen anything?
I don't know. But he heard the sound and it made him really scared. So,
Mike is going to go take a knee by the kid and see if he notices him.
Hi.
Page turning sound you heard is Khel.
Hi.
He's looking at the book.
Hey, you're Samuel, right?
mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm Michael. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, I had a question for you, champ. You think you can answer a question for me?
Okay.
Have you heard any, like, weird noises at night? Like maybe dinosaurs outside?
there was a loud noise one night. It made me really scared.
Oh, yeah. I don't like loud noises either. Do you remember what it sounded like?
It was angry dinosaur.
Angry dinosaur, so like a roar.
Yeah. I
don't like
a
roars.
roar.
They're scary. I tell my dinosaur that he can't roar when we're driving. It's really scary.
You watch as he like looks down at his like little triceratops and looks back to you.
Oh, you have a dinosaur too?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
This is Tribe.
Aw. Hi, Tribe. My dinosaur is Khel.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, the Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah. He's a yeah, the Tyrannosaurus.
He's nice. He's cold. I like.
Yeah. Oh, he's very cold. Very good in the summer. Hey, have you ever looked out this window before and seen anything weird? Like check for dinosaurs.
Great roll, kid. I see garbage man
Mm-hmm.
and doggies.
Oh, you saw doggies.
And
But no
kitties.
weird dinosaurs.
No weird dinosaurs, no.
Okay. Well, if you see any weird dinosaurs or you hear their weird noises, could you tell your mom? Because then your mom can tell us.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Here, wait. You watch as he like leans over the book and he pulls out another sticker and puts it on you. It's it's a Brontosaurus sticker.
Oh, that's the yeah, I like it. It's good. All right. Well, gentlemen, any other questions?
We asked about the man. You have that residue in your hand still, I trust.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the camera set up. She has Carl to call us.
And we've got Samuel
could
on
check
Dinosaur
with-
Patrol. Am I right, Sam?
Yeah. He's not even looking at you guys. He's like looking at the book.
We could check with some of the neighbors. Perhaps one of them may have seen something, even though they say they did not, because sometimes people do not want to get involved.
It's true. I mean, we could ask some of the neighbors to describe the sound that they heard. Maybe they
The
saw
more
something.
information we can get,
Probably be
the
helpful.
better.
Should we split up and ask different people then?
Yeah, I'd say let's take the two neighbors and let's take the one across the hall.
I'll take the one across the hall.
Sounds good. I'll take the one to the left. You take the one to the right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Ma'am, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Please stay safe, take care of your leg, and let us know the moment you see anything suspicious.
Okay. She holds up the card, like just like I have this. Just kind of. Hey, Samuel, say goodbye. Say goodbye to the policeman. Bye. Bye,
Hey,
dinosaur.
take care, Sammy.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye, Sammy.
As you guys,
Viro has already washed and dried
As-
the teacup he was given.
as you guys like are leaving, Samuel like gets up and like rushes over to slam the door. Like as you guys leave, like he just like bam, like slams the door, and you hear his mom and just go, "Samuel, no!" Just kind of scolding him. All right, so
All right.
someone's taking the left side and someone's taking the right side.
Correct.
All right.
I will be taking the right. Bryant is taking the left. I believe Tanis was taking the
Tanis is taking across the hall.
Yep.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Tanis.
I will knock on the door. Just
There is no response.
Rampoon City Police Department, Prince Division. I have a few questions.
Silence.
And just to verify, Monty, she said the last sighting was 4 days ago.
4 days ago.
I'll knock again a little bit harder, not trying to dent it with my monk hands. Just
Give that door these hands.
Rampoon City PD, Prince Division. I have a few questions. Hello.
Actually, Rampoon City PD is Prince Division. Rampoon City PD.
But there's Police Department, Prince Division, PD.
PD.
There is no
RCPD
response.
PD.
You can roll a perception check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I don't know if there'd be a sign outside the door that says they're not here or something. Perception is gonna be 22.
You kind of rest your head against the door. Whoever lives there probably isn't home. You don't hear anything at all.
Nah. Shit. Well, he'll just go back and rejoin. He'll rejoin Khel.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
I will go next.
Okay.
Khel will pick the door closest to the original apartment. And... Rampoon City Police Department, Prince Division. I have some questions, if you would not mind.
You immediately hear, like not like a crashing noise, but like someone's like fallen off a bed or something, like a thudding noise. Eventually, the door is opened, and you see a basically a kenku, like a kenku person, a woman. They are very tall. They are a secretary bird kenku, and they look hungover to shit. Their clothes are like loose. If they had like a boob, it would be hanging out. That's how loose these clothes look right now. They look like the eyes are like really strained as she kind of blinks towards you. Yeah, what do you want?
Khel Zouren will pull out his badge and say, I am with the Rampoon City Police Department, Prince Division. I have some questions, if you would not mind answering them.
Look, I work nights. This is awful. What do you need? What do you want?
4 days ago, did you hear something that sounded like a roar or a screech?
4 days ago?
Perhaps when you were coming back in from work? Yes.
I haven't heard anything, no.
You said you work nights, yes?
Yeah.
You may well have been at work at the time. I would assume... Perhaps you may have been coming back from work and might have seen something on the fire escapes or heard something.
Well, you're assuming. Can I go back to sleep?
Insight.
That is very fair.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and insight if you want to.
That's gonna be 16.
She's very annoyed. This is like someone walking into your room at like 4 a.m. when you're deep asleep and disturbing you.
Okay, so she's not trying to hide anything or deflect.
No, she wants to end this conversation so she can go back to sleep.
All right, I'll just sort of grab Kel's shoulder, be like, with my eyebrows, just let's wrap it up.
I'm very sorry for disturbing you, ma'am, and thank you very much for your cooperation.
Yeah, all right. She just like closes the door, and you watch her just kind of like pinch, like sort of press the bridge of her beak, just like, oh my god, I need water. She just turns around and closes the door.
It might be best to let others do the talking in the future. I am not, as you
Yep.
say, charismatic.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of which,
All right, on the other side.
Rampoon City Police.
You hear movement, and the door opens, and you see like, I'm probably say like 20-year-old like bachelor dude. He's got kind of like a beard, like a black kind of beard around his. It's well trimmed for the most part. Like video game shirt with like a jacket over top and like shorts. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Officer Bryant. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure, yeah, all right.
About 4 days ago, were you at this apartment?
He looks very nervous. Yeah?
Were you here at night, sir?
Yeah, I was home.
Did you hear any strange sounds or anything like that coming from the balcony?
Oh, you're here for Caroline and her kid?
Yes.
I mean, like, I don't know what her kid's attracting around this apartment building, but yeah, there was like a sound outside her apartment.
Yeah,
She's just freaking out about it.
Could you describe what that sounded like for me?
Oh, it's just a stray. It's probably just a dog. She overreacts, you know, ever since her kid got diagnosed with that stupid condition. Like, she's always paranoid that everything's after her kid. Like, no offense, officer, but let's be real
Right.
here.
And remind me, do you have kids?
No.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to double check. You said it was like a barking dog.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it was. It was like a howl.
It was a howl.
Yeah. Like a really loud howl.
Uh-huh. All right.
He's going to start making notes of this. So that confirms the howl.
Have you happened to see anything out there? Have you investigated at all?
No.
All right. Well, he's going to pull out a card. If you happen to see or hear anything else, could you please make sure to give us a call?
Sure. He takes a card and kind of looks it over.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Later, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah. Closes the door.
Asshole. You guys find anything?
A very angry bird lady.
People I checked weren't home.
All right. All right. Well, this guy confirms the story, says it was some kind of howl. He thought it was a dog.
Dog.
Yeah. But I think our next lead is going to be whatever the heck this is, holding out his hand, and getting it investigated. So if we get this to the lab and put a rush on it.
Should you put that in my hands so you can drive, or do you want me to do that?
I was going to recommend Dragon Boy Drive.
I can drive if you wish.
All
You're
right.
gonna hate me, Bosco, but anytime you drive back to the station, you don't have to make any checks.
Look, I don't know that, so I was trying to roleplay a reason I wouldn't be driving.
Well,
but
we should.
Okay.
Yeah, we should just probably. Yeah. I mean, we were just trying to figure out ways that he could hang on to this substance without dropping it.
But just for future knowledge,
from now on.
whenever you're heading back to the station, you do not need to make a check to get back because you know where it is.
Cool.
So perfect. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys get in the vehicle and you make your way back. As you sit down, Tanis, your phone goes off.
Check it.
Okay. As you check your phone, it's from your daughter.
Oh, I'll open it.
She messaged you basically saying soccer practice after school, gonna be there for a little while longer. Is that okay? ?
How long were we told how long we're going to be working today?
You don't know when you stop.
Shit.
See, what had happened was I was gonna be a good dad.
I'll text her back. I'll say, yeah, that sounds fine. Just let me know when it's wrapping up, and I'll pick you up and take you home.
Okay. She sends back K.
Love you.
No response back.
Just sort of frustrated, shoves his phone back into his pocket.
All right, you guys make your way back to the station, park the car, and get out. And where would you guys like to go?
I'd like to walk straight to forensics, yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way to forensics. As you guys go through the double doors, the only person who's actually there right now is Rebecca at the moment.
Got it.
Oh, hi, boys. How's it going?
Hey, we might have a lead on the George case.
George case?
It is
Oh yeah, she's the one with the 5-year-old prince and the disturbances.
Oh, I'm not aware of cases unless I acted forensics on it. So.
Well, you're about to.
Okay, excellent. What do you got for me?
He's gonna open his hand.
Really hope you can see this.
I'm not a palm reader, so.
It's a magical substance, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're not
If
like
there's some place
Josh
we
or
can
anything.
analyze something of the arcane, that'd be great.
Hold on to it.
Okay.
1 second. And she
It
goes
seems
into a
to
drawer and
pass
she,
to physical matter. It is only being able to be held by his skin. Bags it
She-
fell through, gloves it fell through.
she puts on a pair of glasses, which have like kind of like these magnifying pieces that kind of come down, but each one is a different colored glass. And she walks back over to you and she knocks down the red glass and flips the red glass up and then knocks back a blue glass. She goes, "Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That's ethereal residue."
Okay.
And what does that?
So it's like,
What's the significance of that? Is it left behind by like ghosts?
It usually is left behind when something passes into the ethereal plane.
when you say passes into, what exactly, like, just comes out of thin air?
Well, not thin air. It comes out of the ethereal plane into the material plane, and then the material plane back to the ethereal plane. It jumps between the two, and things that do that produce this, naturally. I'm surprised you found this, actually. That's, rather interesting.
Beginner's luck? I don't know.
Was that the only thing you saw?
Yeah, this was it.
Rest of the apartment didn't find anything else?
I mean, I was looking around. This is the only thing that caught my attention.
To
Okay.
explain the situation a bit, this woman, Miss George, her son is a prince, originally registered at 2 years old, now 5. Anyways, man-shaped object standing outside on fire escape looking in windows. Been happening many times over the course of the months. 4 times. We found this residue on the fire escape, and she mentioned hearing a very low-toned howl or roar or scream, which the neighbors also heard 4 days ago. Do you know of anything that would roar that would leave residue like this?
Well, I think of ghosts immediately, at least anything that leaves this.
No, I saw this on an episode of Fluffy the Vampire Slayer. It was a werewolf ghost, so clearly we need to get ghost silver. Yeah.
She starts laughing and kind of looks. The expression on her face is very interesting. She's kind of just laughing and like laughing pretty heartily, almost at her own inside joke. I mean, I would recommend you talk to the necromancy division, but they're gone at the moment. So,
Do you have any idea when they'll be back?
it's more of an if rather than a when for those two.
Do you have a way we can store this safely in the meantime?
Let me grab. I have something I might be able to put ethereal matter into. You watch as she disappears, and she comes back with like a box, a very ornate looking box. You can put it in here for now.
He's gonna put it in.
Is it in? She looks at you because you're the only one who can see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's in.
She closes it and she puts it back into kind of the back locked area, the evidence locker. I'll have the girls look at it in the morning, and maybe they can give us more details.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully somebody can get that analyzed, or at least give us a lead onto what the heck could produce it.
I mean, that's a lead is better than no lead at all.
It's true.
Anyway, I am cleaning up for the night. I'll let you gentlemen know in the morning, okay?
Yeah, thank you for all your work. We appreciate it.
Thank you
Sounds good,
very
thank
much
you.
for your time.
Have a good night, boys. And she kind of collects her
night.
bag and just quickly puts her equipment away as you guys leave.
Is there a place I can wash my hands in here?
Oh yeah, there totally is. There's
Gonna
so
go ahead
many
and do that just because I've been holding ghost duty the whole time. so that'd be
Weirdly
great.
enough, by the way, after your detect magic went away, you could still see this stuff.
Really? But I
Yeah.
couldn't see it until I cast that.
You don't know that.
Huh.
But as you wash your hands, the water just runs through it and it just stays on your hand.
Question, what race is Rebecca?
Rebecca's human.
Okay, so that rules that out. Okay.
I was about to say, Brian can see it. Myself and Tanis could not. But she
And neither
couldn't
could
see it
Rebecca,
either.
so it's not a race thing, so it's something else.
It's not an arcane ability thing, otherwise I would have seen it.
It might, if we're talking above game right now, it could be because you're a paladin.
That's what I was maybe thinking.
Is divine.
I'm a cleric.
But yeah, so we
Arcolf, I love you. I'm a cleric. All right.
anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
Actually, can we go to the office to give Lucy a update?
Sure. Yeah, as you guys enter the office, she's passed out on the desk.
Oh.
He's just gonna kind of poke her.
No more. I can't fit any more on my desk. It's done.
Lucy, we're home.
Oh God. She like throws her head up. Her hair is all kind of tousled. Hi,
Officer Burroughs.
Officer Bryant. Hello. How'd it go? Wow, it's 3:00 already. Yikes. She looks at all the paperwork. How? Everything's good. Everything's great.
Well, we got a lead
On a case.
on the case. Yes,
You have a case.
you gave us a case.
Oh, I mean, I just thought it was kind of just a follow-up. I didn't realize it was a full thing.
Well, it turns out there was something outside the kid's window looking in, making a whole bunch of racket.
Huh. Okay. No, do you have the case file? I'll just expand it and, I have a case. Oh.
Khel will hand over the case file to her, because he still had that.
And Mike's going to hand over his notes so that she can copy them in.
Thank you. I'll do that. She like shoves the other paperwork aside. Finally, and she slaps down an actual Prince Division case. Oh, Captain Roche is going to be so happy. Well, probably not happy, but
Should
you know.
speaking of which, should we update the chief or no?
I'll update him. Baby steps. But oh wow, look at the time. Yeah, you guys are done for the day. You guys can head home. Usually we stick around till about 6, but Mondays we stay till 3, and then the night crew comes in. So,
Okay.
we're only a day office ourselves. So, just a heads up though, there are times where you're gonna have to work at night. You will be compensated with overtime pay. So,
Well, I like the sound of that.
All right. When do we usually get breaks? Can we take those anytime, or?
I mean, yeah, as long as nothing pressing is going on, and obviously no, slacking. Of course, she kind of puts her hands on her hips.
Right. I've got a little one at home, and she's got soccer, and I have to go.
Oh, that's cute. I mean, you could step out if you need to. I don't think anyone's gonna get mad at you for that, unless there's like something really
Okay.
pressing going on.
All right.
Like,
Just making sure. I don't want to be unprofessional or anything, or step on people's toes.
no, just talk to. I mean, depending on who's on staff at the time. Usually, Officer Gray can clock you out, and if you're leaving at night, then Whitbraid can clock you out. But I
Great.
prefer Gray. Gray is better
Thank you.
than Whitbraid. But yeah, first day, yay! I hope you had a good experience and it wasn't too stressful.
We got so
wow.
lost.
Yeah, it's been some time. You guys were gone
That
for
was
like almost
my
4 hours.
bad.
So
I
it was pretty
I
impressive.
thought I knew the way there, and well,
Yeah, this place is like a maze. Anyway, she kind of looks over at the paperwork. Probably gonna stay late.
Please take care of yourself.
Oh, and if you need access to the camera, just talk to the tech division. They can hook you up with anything that they pick up on. They're pretty good about that.
great.
All right. Well, have a good day, and see you tomorrow.
Take care. Don't stay up too late.
She just looks down at the paperwork and keeps writing.
Have fun
I'll
with the stack
go.
of papers.
I'll go get her some caffeinated tea and then set it on her desk before I leave.
All right. You
Before
guys.
we all go, can Khel turn back into the office
Sure.
for just a brief
Yeah.
moment? Hey, Officer Burroughs,
Yeah.
do I look like a T-Rex to you?
What?
Yeah.
Do I look like a T-Rex? You know, Tyrannosaurus Rex, king of dinosaurs.
Khel Zouren, I would answer that, but I really don't want to be written up for workplace discrimination.
Oh no, it is fine. It is very simple question.
I just, it feels like I'm crossing a line.
All right, look, I'll just come right out and say it. You look more like a Triceratops because you got the weird face with the kind of horns things. So that's where I would go with it. But
I
that's
do not have horns. I
Sort of have that
fins.
gaunt.
Are those
Yeah, but that-
fins? I don't even know. Then
You sort
I
of
was-
have that gaunt jaw thing going on for a T-Rex a little bit, but not. I wouldn't confuse you with one.
Lucy's just looking between the three of you, just like she
oh,
at
what
first.
about like that?
at
We
first-
got
alligator
along
with
great in the
swords?
car.
Honestly, he looks like an alligator, but I'm just.
To explain, Officer Burroughs, the young man, Samuel George. To not frighten him, I had to take on the guise of a dinosaur. His mother referred to me as a T-Rex. I tried to play the part. A terrified him.
Oh,
But he
no
warmed up.
offense.
He gave me this lovely sticker that looks like an ankylosaurus.
Oh, that's cute.
The heck's an ankylosaurus?
Lucy actually looks like really calm right now. Like she's smiling and looking at you guys kind of bantering between each other, and there's some sort of like, there's a peacefulness to her face, like almost like a, like happiness.
And if anything, I would say crocodile. I'm not some alligator.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know the difference, but
One has overbite, one has underbite.
oh come on, now this is being pedantic.
I never noticed.
It is in the teeth.
Yeah, didn't exactly have a lot of books growing up, so it's interesting to learn new stuff.
Are there zoos in the city?
You're not sure. Probably, yeah. I mean, there's different types of zoos. There's beast zoos and monster zoos. It depends.
We will have to go to a zoo sometime.
I mean, I've been to zoos, but
Yeah, I've absolutely been to the zoo.
Then how have you not
Don't
seen
actually.
alligators or crocodiles?
I
I
have
just know-
seen them, but you know what? So this is the weird thing about a zoo is they have the pictures outside of the cages, and they tell you what they are. You don't have to look at the teeth.
If they
Yeah,
tell
I
you
just
what
never
they are
noticed,
and you
really.
see what they look like, you should be able to tell difference.
Sorry, hey, I'll tell you what. I'm not a human.
And then he pretends to have an overbite.
No, I'm a Neanderthal. You see? Because it's an underbite. You gotta be kidding me.
Humans can have underbite and overbite. It
Shut
is
up.
a
I didn't ask for
common condition.
commentary. Thank you, though.
It is in the jaw structure, specifically.
Oh, my God.
well, I guess you would
I'm
know.
going home.
All right, bye.
Bye, boys. Have fun. I'm missing a lot, Chief. And as you guys head home for the day, the following day, ahead of you, that is where we're going to end the first session of this campaign. Wow!
Oh, that was so much fun. I want to do it again.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for catching the first episode of the Prince Division. I hope you continue to listen and see how the Prince Division evolves over time. If you want to catch the show live, definitely check us out at twitch.tv/The Unexpectables, where you can catch the show live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturdays. If you like and want more D&D related things and have a taste more for fantasy, definitely check out our main series, The Unexpectables, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at twitch.tv/The Unexpectables. If you'd like to see the visuals for this session, definitely check out the YouTube uploads at Takahata 101. Thank you so much, guys, for the support, and see you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to the rebroadcast of the first episode of the Prince Division. We're going to end the stream here. I'm going to end the stream with a raid. Thank you guys so much for coming, and we'll see you next Saturday. Take care, everybody.